Throwback Thursday.
When they talk about evolution.
Boom 1069.
It's a dancehall thing.
Her beauty's like a bunch of roses. If I ever tell you about Maxine, you would say I don't know what I know, but murder she wrote. Real. Murder she wrote. Murder she wrote. Murder she wrote.
Action with him, a pretty face and bad character. Them the kind of living can hold chaka. Follow me. A pretty face and bad character. Them the kind of living can hold chaka. Say, girl, you pretty, your face is pretty, but your character dirty. Girl, you just a act too flirty. You run to Tom Dick and also hurry. And when you find your mistake, you talk about you sorry. Come on.
Throwback Thursday.
We are lovers through and through, and though we made it through the storm, I really want you to realize, I really want to put you on. I've been searching for someone to satisfy my every need. Won't you be my inspiration, be the real love that I need? Real love. I'm searching for
stumbling block, baby, but better move over, baby. Here come the tiger, baby, but better move over, baby. Here come the tiger. Wait the man, who that a come? Wait the man, wanna think me did done? Wait the man, who that a come? Wait the man, wanna think me did done? It hang up, say DJ go, say don't pick up it hang up. Tell them to pack up and run, make up it hang up. DJ go, go sit down, make up it hang up. Tell them to pack up and run now. Put up and cut come off of the right. They have two stick hot and the mic. Hot barrel come off of the left before me use the bomber and pop. Sick in the death, Jesus Christ man. Him a send tread me a let. Take a year and go shot him. Wait the man, man. Who that a come? Wait the man. Who no think me did done? Wait the man. Who that a come? Wait the man. Who no think me did done? Me come fit turn up. Say DJ go and go sit down. Me come fit turn up. Tell them fi pack up and run. Me come fit turn up. DJ go and go sit down. Me come fit turn up. Tell them fi pack up and run now. Put up and come off of the right. 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 Put up and come off.
Big it up. Can I see your body ride a murder? You must want the DJ charge for a death. Big it up. Look sweet. Trust me, I and I love stand up and see. Uptown, downtown, I rock to the beat. Jeremy and I try about him already. He better make stumpy, teach him the step. Halloween, wonder stiff like piece of wood. Never idiot, I can't do go good. You hear, new sign, you dance a lick. When you're in the ear, then you rock, then you dip. New style, style and style, and style can't spoil. All girls them jump and shock out for a while. Watch this. Oh, not that. You hear new style, new dance and lick. In your hand in the ear, then you rock, then you dip. Move to the drum and make your body kick. Step forward and come up back quick. That's the new style where the whole place I do. Rap, bogle, dance, some music fit you. Bogle around the place night and day. So just rap, bogle, dance, some of your tune now play. I'm missing on it that after no so bogle stay. She can't do it, but she a rock same way. For real, me love how the girl them do. Rock so, deep so, to got them look sweet. Trust me, I and I love stand up and see. Uptown, downtown, I rock to the beat. Jeremy and I try about him already. He better make stumpy, teach him the step. Halloween, wonder stiff like piece of wood. Never idiot, I can't do go good. You hear, new style, new dance and lick. When you're hand in the ear, then you rock, then you dip. Move to the drum and make your body kick. Step forward and come up back. I just a new style where the whole place I do. Rap, bogle, dance, come music sweet you. Bogle around the place night and day. So just do bogle dance, some of your tune a play. Angie and Beverly, them a bogle dancer. Diane can't do it, but she still want follow. She's the fly sour, but she not here. She not watch and do them on
I could have who said running on miserable. If you live with you running, you don't run it too.
Throwback Thursday.
Running love the cousin. Baby granny, she cost me everything. Granny,
Stop hollering out my name.
granny,
You calling me name in vain.
granny.
Where you are calling for?
Me soul let me know. I go live with mama.
Me ball, work your body, girl, work your body, girl inna the party. Work your body, girl, work your body, girl inna the party. Lord, you can't take it no more. Give me money, woman, you give me before. Lord, you can't take it no more. Give me money, woman, you give me. After half, I take off the girl with some love over me and then take it for fun. Then we come back and we go talk to us all. You can't let me show no money now. Searching for a girl out the looking for a bunch of money every piece of. You be confused and then I know when you come and I'm fucking up going. You keep stopping. Lord, you can't take it no more. Give me money, woman, you give me no more. Lord, you can't take it no more. One walk me want off, and you a several run left the boy where you rock with you. I just one. One walk me want off, and you a several run left the boy where you rock. I've got what it takes, see it on the length. Walk with style, I mean, walk with strength. And on the surface, me can back me argument. Make you jump off a wall and scale over fence. Turn your back free and make you go to the length. Young girl want move when you feel it serpent. When African a walk, it's
It's
don't have sense. Woman a just one.
Throwback Thursday.
It's raining, my body's calling. I'm in need of my darling. He will want fire, and I'm hearing baby. Come on, babe, me put it in the pina colada. On the way in the rain, on the way always with me. I dare not complain. My baby got me balling out from pain. But that's the way I want it, because my body must feel when me stay. Hey, I know can't lose them and treat them no style. I fuck out them body and I want like them shy. When me want me man, me just demand me ride. Take out the weeper like a jockey, me a glide. Sometimes me buzz well like a big baby kite. Float pan it up and nearly dolly two side. You want it hard, won't take long while. In a slow motion or acrobatic style. Smooth sailing pan a boat ride. In a the rain and the brawling, so it.
We giving you the best throwback. I love it. On 106.9.
That's right. It's Throwback Thursdays. We really are bringing you the best throwbacks. I mean, literally the best throwbacks. That's how we're doing it. We're doing it very can I say we're doing it wet, or would that be insensitive because of the weather situation and what's going on in Trinidad and all that? That's not insensitive, right?
No.
Okay, good. We're doing it real wet.
Wet.
You know, Shady does this thing where he's like, "You ready?"
Yeah.
But he's not ready yet.
Shady ready? Shady, I got over here. You see any movement? Oh no, because I'm.
Yeah. He would say, "You ready?"
Yeah.
Because he knows he's not ready, and he just want to make you feel like I see that you're ready, but like let me just ask you if you're ready, and he just plays like he not ready. But we want to say good morning to you. Thanks for tuning into 106.9. This is OMG in the morning.
Yeah, man.
I know the whole crew is here. Well, wow. I feel like we need to go and get a juice. No. I think we need to award Fernando with a juice. Yeah, we need to give him a juice or something, boy. No, we need to, because this is a momentous occasion. I don't know what to do with myself. I've never had company here before at this time, but big up you. I like them sunglasses. When you bring couple up here for me or something.
I gotta get you some. This is when your future bright. So you have to.
Yeah, mine looking bright.
A few years ago, it was brighter, so these shades are dark.
Make it worse when you run for run.
Boys, stop that kind of
Hey, then we will be like best friend. We will be like best friend. We want a party card. Whichever party you're going, we want a card.
I can register. Don't leave what I can register.
You will register. Yeah. Try your vote. That's smart. And make sure you get some materials and so on.
Everybody, all of you getting contract.
Yeah. I love that. Look out for your people. We are into the month of October, and I really want us to look at doing some special things during the month to celebrate independence, to celebrate the invention. So I think what I want us to start doing is, and I'm sharing it with our Boom family. Y'all can make your suggestions. We're all in this together.
For real.
I'm thinking, we can really bring in some people who are really good at whatever crafts or whether it's arts or whatever it is. Just to celebrate, Vincentians who are doing things that people may not even know that they're doing.
There are plenty out there,
There are lots of
I think that's a good initiative.
I really, really want us to whether it's 2 days weekly or 1 day weekly, we'll do one on Friday, because Friday is the turn up day. So we'll try to do one on Fridays, and we'll try to do one another day during the week. Let's give our fellow Vincentians some support. There are lots of Vincentians who are doing great things, but we just don't know about it. People who are manufacturing products and really, really
often they're overshadowed by the bad news.
Of course. So we want to throw, suppose we want to celebrate being Vincentian in that way.
Yes.
And if you know anybody who is skilled in any of those ways, who who has a startup business or has a business or is doing something that you think is unique and is somehow celebration of Vincentian culture, just let us let us know so that we can touch base with them and have them come in and do a little show. We're doing it wet this October. Yeah, we're doing it wet this
Shady,
October.
my friend Shandy is saying you need to smile a bit more. And Vicky, she's from she's based in Canawan. They say, Shady, tell Shady smile, right? So this is Vicky is saying this is Independent Month also, or they play more good.
I think Shady balances the local music. Sometimes it's like that's local. You don't even realize when you mixing it in with the other music.
Boy,
He. And we're gonna do that. We'll have on those days. We'll also have like a little segment of Vincy music and things. We're gonna make. I tell you, we're doing it where I went. You know, we're on it. Listen, we got a lot to discuss today. You know, our lineup it's a Thursday, which means that we have Council coming in at 1:45. We've got Mr. Weeks in the 8 o'clock hour, and we have Dr. Richards as well to join us. And of course, we have you giving us your comments. You can do so on WhatsApp as well as send your voice notes to 455-1069. You can link us up on Facebook. We're live right now. You can find us at the handle at BoomSVG 1069. That is also our handle for Instagram and our YouTube. So let's get some messages going. This is from Barry's Auto Parts, located on Lower Middle Street Gap. It's a big blue building. You can't miss it. And you can get your vehicle parts for any different vehicle type. Just call them up to find out if they have the part for you at 593-5226. You can also check out On Fleet Boutique. Interestingly enough, it's located in the same building as Barry's Auto Parts. You can get your fits for upcoming events, and it's October, so there are tons of events that I know you're going to want to get an outfit for. So check out On Fleet Boutique. You can also call them at 497-8227.
On Fleek.
On Fleek, boy. And there's sweet deals available at Quartz on stoves, mattresses, chair sets, and accessories, with savings of up to 60% on selected products. And it ain't even Christmas yet, you know, 60% off by Quartz, boy. Plus, check them out at their store for their new arrivals, like the Nintendo PS5 and the Craftsman Power Tool range. No money, no problem. Ask about their flexible credit payment packages. Quartz is bringing value home. And remember, especially in the kind of weather that's going on, you can stay connected with a new Flow Broadband 250 package and enjoy fiber fast internet connectivity at home and pay only $60 for the rest of the year. Broadband 250 package is available island-wide. To subscribe today, see them in store or WhatsApp message the Flow Virtual at 494-5464. Terms and conditions do apply. Flow is keeping you connected. And we want to start talking about the weekend because it is Thursday. And this is what you need to be at. This is where you need to be on Saturday, October 8th. It's at the Russell's Auditorium at 7 p.m. for the Kingstown Cooperative Credits Union's National Dance Fest. They are back this Saturday, and they will be performing under the theme Together We Can. There are going to be a number of awards, including Best Dance Group, Best Duo, and Best Soloist for this year's KCCU National Dance Fest. So make sure you take all your friends and family. It's an event you don't want to miss. Get your tickets today at KCCU on Granby Street. You can call them at 457-2409 to place your order. It's $15 for children, $20 for adults. And we got to say shout out to KCCU on this venture. All right, guys. After all that messages day, boy. Real messages day, now, boy. Real messages day. You know, I shared you got the video I sent you. I sent you a it didn't go through, bro. It did go through. You get it? All right, so we have a caller. Who's taking this call? Fernando, you. I pick you.
Hello.
Good morning, Mr. And good morning, my brother.
Good morning, sir.
Greetings, my brother. And my brother, you know, with Miss Vero ain't doing it. When you hear morning comes, say good morning, Mr. Hamilton, because Hamilton role is
I was supposed to say that.
Yeah, forget about Miss Vero. Just say honey.
So wait, so you train me with Fernando reach it for 2 days. He reach it all for 1 day, and you train me with?
No, never would I show you with. Let me say this.
And it'll make you sad enough.
I call hundreds of people, literally possibly thousands of calls for the, because the only reason that hinder me from calling is that a lot of the numbers are cut off. I'm not doing it because I'm a jobless. I'm doing it because I want people to get the truth. And you can't have radio stations. You are the best right now in getting the truth out. You can have a radio station lying to our people. Here, for example, you have a situation where you're going to, and I know Miss Russell, but you're going to an auditorium, and basically Miss Russell literally suffered for years because of the virus. All of a sudden, with the BA5, you're going into an auditorium. Ask her why she wasn't having movies. And nobody said anything from the Ministry of Health that you have to be careful. It's not like if the virus dry up like what Biden said. And so somebody is giving somebody wrong information, and it is perpetrated on your radio station. And so you have to be able to say, we have to be careful what we are doing here, because some politician, whether Joe Biden or Ralph Gonsalves, literally wants to put the public life in danger. How could you do that? Let me just say why I'm calling, and I'll come off, because I don't think, that I feel, my brother, you love me more than my sister who loved me, but I love her still. Do you know that Mr. Maduro went down into, there's an arrangement with Maduro and Joe Biden to bring, do some swap. And I'm sorry for the 6 men they had held up illegally. But who are you bringing? The 2 nephews for Mr. Maduro's wife. How could that ever be allowed that to happen? Mr. Maduro, Mr. Biden, you pledge. Never would you be bypassing Mr. Guaidero. You will be standing with the people of Venezuela. But look at the message you're sending, and I'm sorry for the passion I shouted in your ears. How could you have the 2 biggest drug lords? Even Maduro himself is wanted by the Americans under Donald Trump. God bless you, Donald Trump. For drug trafficking, millions of tons of cocaine. What message are you sending to our young people on our soil? But look at what has happened, really and truly. It happened with Dr. Friday and Terrence Oliver being the representative. And none of them protested. That the people of Venezuela depend on us in this hall to help them from a terror man. Maduro does not account for taxpayers' money. Yeah. All of the very neighbors around him. Yes, Gonsalves is in bed with him because Gonsalves ain't concerned. Right. He being...
No, about who in the body
I know you want to get me up, but what I'm calling on, I am calling for the resignation of Dr. Friday and Terrence Oliver, who allowed that arrangement. I'm calling for Mr. Gonsalves and those people. I'm calling for the head of commissioner of police who allowed drug traffickers to be glorified. Okay, it is wrong. I'm already saying, Vincentian, it's time now.
All right, thank you, Mr. Hamilton.
Let me finish. Dave Roberts.
Friday.
God
bless you, Hammer. God bless you, Hammer.
But I'm actually very happy that he brought that topic up, because that's where I want us to go this morning.
Yes. Big up those
I did see an article. We had to take a break already, I did see an article that really did pique my interest about what Mr. Hamilton is talking about, right?
Yeah.
So let's read some of the information in the article. It says, in a rare softening of hostile relations, Venezuela freed on Saturday 7 imprisoned Americans in exchange for United States releasing 2 nephews of President Maduro's wife, who had been jailed for years on narcotics convictions. The swap of the Americans, including 5 oil executives, held for nearly 5 years, follows months of back-channel diplomacy by senior U.S. officials, secretive talks with a major oil producer that took on greater urgency after sanctions on Russia put pressure on global energy prices. The deal amounts to an unusual gesture of goodwill by Maduro, as the socialist leader looks to rebuild relations with the U.S. after vanquishing most of his domestic opponents. While the White House denied any change in policy towards them, the freeing of Americans could create political space for the Biden administration to ease crippling oil sanctions on Venezuela. Maduro shows progression in on-again, off-again talks with his opponents. The transfer took place Saturday in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, which is ruled by an ally of Maduro. 3 people in Venezuela briefed on the matter told the AP on the condition of anonymity. The prisoner arrived from their respective locations in separate planes. The Biden administration said these individuals will be soon reunited with their families back in the arms of their loved ones. Right? And it just goes on to say that the men were convicted of embezzlement in 2020 in a trial, and they had a lot of irregularities and how they were sentenced and all of that. Right? So,
Yeah.
okay. So, in this article, according to this article, it says that this exchange took place in St. Vincent
Yeah.
and the Grenadines. How do you feel about that?
Well, I actually don't know how to feel. I was asking someone the other day if they think that would have like a negative impact on the country, and they would have, think that it would have some negative implication. But I don't know as to how far that impact would go. The thing is also they were asking the PM what is St. Vincent mainland.
Don't worry, we have the clip.
Oh, you are.
I get through
Oh,
today.
okay, sorry.
I get through today. I get
So
through.
I just find it interesting that is where the Prime Minister is an ally of Maduro.
No. In that this article,
He's
it
not
says-
ally America to Biden. No?
well, they're trying to come to some kind of diplomacy. So I'm guessing him being an ally of both, if indeed he is,
Yeah.
is working clearly.
Yeah, but I just find
help
it
the
interesting that
situation.
the report would have mentioned that he's an ally of Maduro.
Yeah. I'm so sorry to that caller. You can call back.
Yeah, caller, you can call back.
I'm so sorry.
But that Danny, I don't know what to think, to be honest. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't know if it's good for.
Well,
the-
Mr. Hamilton is saying it sends a bad message
Yes.
to people locally. I don't really know.
But
to what extent, but-
but maybe for the local population, we are more concerned what is that all about, and how do we get ourselves in this?
All right. Good morning. You're live.
Hey, good morning.
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 Two things. I know you had a pack morning, so two things I want to get into quick. Right. First one first. Let's shift your attention a bit. The hospital, right? We're bringing a CT scan down there, right? So that could help our who need it instead of those who can't afford to fly away. But I haven't never went down there to do a CT scan, right? They charge us $1,000 to pay for it. $1,000. Now it's 4 people. We get the money, we pay for it. But the thing that after me is that you're charging us another $400 to read the result of the CT scan. Do you understand my thing?
But
Yes.
what is the point of doing the CT scan if you're not getting the results? So that's to me supposed to be included.
I'm lost. And the thing is, the doctors cannot do nothing until they get the information from the CT scan. You got it?
Right.
So, as poor people, you don't brag and boast why you're bringing this machine to help us, because not everybody could even afford them $1,000 to pay just to take a CT scan, much less the $400 to get the information that is read off the CT scan. So it's totally rip off. It's not even look as it is right now. And I said poor people could afford it. You understand? And I read an article next thing, and I read an article where the Prime Minister justifying trying to justify his the raising cost of the fisheries, right? So they're losing all this money. But my thing, you give a business 15 years tax-free concession, and then for poor people you worrying about $30,000. Even if they get them 5 years, you think the other 10 years could even cover the cost of the local fishery industry that is running for poor people. It just baffles me that you give all these people so much free concession and free taxes, millions of dollars over the couple of years, and you complain about something to help poor people for fisheries, your own people. These are no big companies, there's poor people on the road. So it really, and the topic with these prisoners, the Prime Minister was asked in a press conference, he did not deny it, he did not admit it. But
We'll play the video.
for Minister of National Security, you ought to know something about it.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have said because of diplomatic reasons you cannot discuss it, but if it takes place, and I will get it,
Yeah.
whatever diplomatic field, you cannot say certain things about it, because it do happen.
Yeah.
But when you say, like, you're not denying it. Somebody had to know that they're gonna take place.
You
Somebody
think,
had to know.
do you think it could have a negative impact on the country though, or positive? What do you think?
I'm still trying to search for the positive impact. I'm still trying to search for the positive impact because from what I see, I might be seeing it wrong, but it's just a whole bunch of negative effect. Why St. Vincent? And then look at this, we not to say that we put in each, we join hand and we collaborate working with this when it happen. No, you now have a look at the layman looking at it on the street. You now have a deal with young like this in St. Vincent, right? And there you go again. You have a news but a boat leaving from St. Vincent with all this drugs. So I mean, we're not saying it is joined together. We're not saying it's related in no way, but just
I think I saw something like that. You know about that?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
came
yeah.
from St. Vincent.
I think when that took place, I think I saw.
Yeah, this week I
Yeah.
think.
So, all right then. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your
Thanks
call.
for
Thank you
your
for your
call. So,
contribution this morning.
he's really expressing his concern about the high cost to use the machine, right?
Yeah,
The city
he's
machine.
saying it's $1,000,
Yeah.
and then you still have to pay an additional
$400 for the
$400
readers.
according to him with
I think that's
for the
I think
results.
for the average
Yeah,
cost,
go ahead.
which might be it could be kind of high for the average man.
But I don't want to assume, but as we're having the discussion, to me maybe the cost should really be about 14, 15,
Okay.
and they just looking for ways to kind of cut up that cost.
Okay.
I don't know because I mean
Well,
CT
because
scan is not
it's
cheap,
okay.
right? It end up being
Well,
that
well,
anyways.
so,
I feel
yeah.
like maybe that is the overall price for it.
Because I mean, if I pay
for today's best price,
because what I'm saying, if I pay $1,000 for CT scan,
you expect to get a
you're not gonna give me a
result.
read.
How does that make any
I was
sense?
trying
Maybe
to-
that is the
yeah,
overall
yeah,
cost,
yeah,
and
I
they,
understand,
I don't know, maybe they made a
Maybe that's the
mistake
overall
or something.
cost, and
That's what I'm
just
saying. They
balance it
just
out to say 400 for
yeah,
reading
but
and
don't
1,000
just say the cost is
Yeah.
1,400. That makes absolutely
Yeah,
no
yeah,
sense to me.
absolutely.
Because you don't tell me $1,000. I think I paying $1,000 and I done. That's weird.
So
All right,
that-
the video finished
okay.
loading, Shades. 2 seconds.
I
All
think
right.
we
So
need
what?
to like probably read some of the comments.
All right, go ahead and read some of the comments.
I think in terms of Bangladesh, hey, you all got some money from both sides. That's given a red eye to the nation. The association has been made to someone that is seen as a dictator. Once again, the association has been made to someone that is seen as a dictator. So I think they're probably saying, Tony is saying that.
All right, so someone is saying, what negative implications can we get just by hosting an exchange between two different nations?
Yeah.
And the person laughs and says, people not going to come SVG because we assisted a peaceful exchange.
Okay.
So in this person's opinion, they don't see anything negative that can be attached to this. You
I
right
think,
now?
I think, you ready, Shady? I think what Bangladesh is saying is that we got money from both sides.
All right, so what we're gonna do is run this clip. This is one of the journalists who were present at the press conference held by the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister also gives his response. So let's run this on our Facebook Live.
Presenting Reuters International. You didn't touch on that topic, but a report appeared in the Searchlight newspaper over the weekend regarding the prisoner exchange between Venezuela and the USA. Multi-part question, PM. One, can you confirm the location of the exchange? Was it the Argyle International Airport or Canawan? Two, when did St. Vincent and the Grenadines enter the negotiations as the exchange point? What qualified St. Vincent and the Grenadines as the most suitable neutral country for the exchange? And is this the first time that St. Vincent and the Grenadines has facilitated such an exchange? Thanks.
The policy of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as encapsulated in its mantra, friends of all, we strive for a better world. Any government which thinks that St. Vincent and the Grenadines may be helpful in any matter to resolve or facilitate in the resolution of any conflict or any difficulty, St. Vincent and the Grenadines is always willing to help, for we are friends of all. St. Vincent and the Grenadines will never, however, go about and say what it is doing or not doing in any of these respects, unless it is necessary and desirable to do so in all the circumstances and with the consent and agreement of anyone in which we have been involved in any matter regarding peace, good relations between states, security and progress. Given what I've just said, I will neither confirm nor deny what you particularly asked. I stated the general position of the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
All right, so that was his response. In case people were wondering, what is the official position as your Vincentian?
Position is we wouldn't confirm nor deny.
No, deny that took place here.
So
I don't really think.
Winston is saying the swap had to be made on neutral ground. Both sides had to agree on the neutral location. SVG facilitated the swap. It ain't that big.
I feel Winston. I feel Winston.
Truman said, why is he saying St. Vincent and the Grenadines when the people didn't know it too?
Oh my goodness. Listen, man, we do have to make way for Council Thomas. If we don't jump out now, we're going to be extremely late for him. So we will keep this discussion going after our Plain Talk segment. But for now, let's jump out and take a commercial break. Coming up next, we've got Plain Talk with Council Jomo Thomas.
The NTRC's 2022 iCode 784 competition is here. Dream, code, innovate. With total cash prizes of over $25,000 to be won. What are you waiting for?
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company.
Service and quality items, Pembroke on the leeward side. We got general hardware for your household, cement, PVC, and steel and wood. It's your neighborhood hardware store for customers on the leeward shore. S3 Express construction materials.
Big People Events presents October Ragasoka Fest on Saturday the 22nd of October, going down at Woodsy, 1133 Clarkson Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Showtime 9 p.m. with live performance by Adrian Bailey and the Magma Band featuring Scorpion.
She left the road, the road, the road. Big road.
Music by DJ Easy Sounds. So get your early bird tickets at $35. Regular tickets at $40. Get your tickets at Woodsy Bar. Call 718-552-2687. Standard Shippers 718-469-8377. Adrian Bailey at 917-853-8441. Or Shani at 718-427-0385. So come celebrate with us. October Ragasoka Fest. Saturday 22nd October. Happy 43rd Independence SVG. Part sponsored by Standard Shippers.
Children, yeah. Don't be afraid to speak out. Teach the kids their rights. Physical and sexual abuse must stop. Join me in this fight now. I want you to see. Suspect, say.
among friends and families. See, suspect, say! In the schools and communities, children of the future, they depend on you. Report to the authorities, that's what you should do. You see the signs, do what's right, put a stop to child abuse. See, suspect, say! Among friends and families, a message from the Child Development Division within the Ministry of National Mobilization in collaboration with UNICEF.
Let the SVG Teachers Cooperative.
At Pharmacy Plus, you can get your personal care, hair care, prescription, dental, and over-the-counter, and medical supplies at affordable prices. Located on Egmont Street, opposite Home Collection. We're open Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pharmacy Plus, for supreme care and more.
You can join today and apply today. Visit tccusvg.com or call us at 457-2947 for more information. SVG TCCU Limited terms and conditions apply.
Drink it up. Island Sips Plum Rose Water. We're drinking. Taste the flavor today. Drinking Plum Rose Water from Island Sips. Caribbean fruit flavor. You can win when you top it up, switch it up, side it up, under love. Easy wins with love. Easy wins.
Get the easy summer vibes with over $70,000 in cash and prizes. Just top up $10 or more. Activate a prepaid plan, switch to Flow, or bundle your home services to get your share of $70,000 in cash. Data, Samsung Galaxy devices, shopping vouchers.
Plain Talk. Plain Talk with Jumo Thomas.
So much things to say right now.
All your talk now.
On OMG.
Good morning, Council. Welcome.
Good morning, Daniel. Good morning, Shady. Good morning, Fernando. Good morning, most of all, to your listeners. I had something completely different to speak about, but your most recent take on the swap of the prisoners in Kanawan has, and some of the comments that I read, or some of the comments by people has set me thinking. I thought it is important that I weigh in on this conversation. First thing, I think that we are making a mountain out of a molehill when we see some nefarious or some special kind of deal that resulted in St. Vincent being the transit point for an exchange of prisoners. This happens all the time. Some of us who pay close attention would know that where there's swap of prisoners, a lot of it used to happen in Vienna, in Austria. A lot of it used to happen in Helsinki, in Finland. And we see as well, last night I was reading where there has been a renewed talks between the new government of Colombia and the armed guerrillas who have been fighting the Colombian state for more than 50 years. And that those talks are facilitated in Havana and in Oslo now, in Norway. And Cuba facilitate them, Norway facilitates them. So I am not so sure that well, not that I'm not so sure. I think that we're actually making too much of this exchange of prisoners. What I'm more concerned about, though, is that the way in which that story was written. For one thing, the story says that you had an exchange of prisoners and you had an exchange of some American oil executives. And these were portrayed in the story to be all innocent. They were tried in Venezuela. You know, the system didn't treat them right. They didn't get justice and so on and so forth. And contrast that with, guess who they're releasing? They're releasing 2 convicted drug dealers of Maduro's wife. So you have a contrast on one hand, innocent American citizens compared
because we really want to get these innocent American citizens, we exchange them for two convicted drug dealers. Nothing about the way in which they were tried, nothing about the way in which they were convicted, nothing. In other words, the American system is fair and just and everything. But without more, we get a blanket statement that these men did not get a fair trial in Venezuela, in Caracas. Well, check this out in terms of fair trials. There's a man called Julian Assange. Julian Assange was the head of WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks is a public interest organization that has done more than any other journalistic organization in the world, in the history of the world, to expose the excesses, the criminal excesses of states. And WikiLeaks was the organization that exposed the murderous American policies in Afghanistan and in Iraq. It showed American soldiers gunning down people, shooting them, and none of those soldiers have been brought to justice to date. For doing that, Assange was jailed literally because he had to apply for asylum in the Uruguayan embassy in London. Then there were trumped up charges that he had raped a woman. And long after the Swedish authorities said, well, they had dropped the case, in the international media, they were talking about Julian Assange raping this woman. So he was kept in this embassy, the Uruguayan embassy, for 7 years. And then he was thrown out of the embassy against the clear violation of international law. Then the British police stormed the embassy and snatched him from there. And since then, he has been in a prison in London. And what are they trying to do? The American government is trying to extradite this man to America so that he can be tried for espionage. Well, look, Julian Assange is an Australian citizen who lived, well, he traveled a lot, but he spent some time in Sweden. And he's not an American. He was not on American soil, didn't steal anything in America. He got hold of a trove of American secret documents. And for that, America wants to try him and they want to lose him in prison. Nobody speaks about, well, not nobody, but most of us in St. Vincent probably don't even know who Julian Assange is and what his travail has been over the last decade or more. So he's now awaiting extradition from London to the US to face trial for espionage. But for doing something that journalists do all the time. Journalists go, they investigate, they get the source, and that information is brought to the public. For doing that, Julian Assange is being harassed and jailed, and the potential that he may spend the rest of his life in an American prison. Well, that's Julian Assange. We can also talk about the Venezuelan diplomat, Alexander Saab. Alexander Saab was traveling from Venezuela to Iran. The plane stopped in the Cape Verde Island. There's an island just off West Africa. The Cape Verdean authorities, on the insistence of the Americans, kidnapped Alex Saab. If you know anything about diplomacy, Alex Saab is a diplomat. International conventions, international law says you cannot arrest a diplomat unless the state where he's from gives the permission that he be tried. Alex Saab was kidnapped in Cape Verde. He never got to Iran, where he was going to carry out his diplomatic activities. And then he was shipped from the Cape Verde Islands to the United States. And Alex Saab today is spending time in a high security prison in Miami. So the way in which the news comes over sometimes, we believe that, oh, America is this paragon of virtue. There's nothing wrong that's taking place there. And then every other country is painted in a bad light. Remember, the great Nelson Mandela that all of us celebrate, up until 1998, Nelson Mandela was was described as a terrorist by the American government. Remember Noriega from Panama? Noriega was an American CIA agent who killed the legitimate president of Panama, Torrijos, Omar Torrijos. He became the president. The Americans used him, they abused him, and then they invaded Panama and arrested him. They took him to Miami, tried him, jailed him, and when they were finished with him, they sent him over to France, and he was then jailed in France. But nobody talks about these travesty of justice. Or take the men who rule North Korea. They were said to be the worst dictators in the world, if you hear anything about them. And then Trump came in. He ended what was called this terrorist. He relabeled Kim Jong-un as someone he can work with. The label of terror state was removed from Kim Jong-il and North Korea, and then they had all kind of relationships. So the point I'm trying to make is that powerful states invariably label people in negative ways. In fact, the United States government has put a $15 million bounty on the head of President Maduro, the legitimate elected president of a country which is not far away from us. But if you listen to the American media, if you listen to the discourse in St. Vincent, for example, you heard it a little while ago by the gentleman whose name I don't think it's necessary to call, you would get the impression that, in Venezuela, the worst kind of crimes are taking place. And how dare Biden, one of the biggest criminals in the world, who have presided over under Obama's vice president, was presided over the war in Iraq, in Afghanistan, the American escalation in Pakistan, in Uzbekistan, in Sudan, in Ethiopia, in Yemen. We need to get an understanding of what is taking place in the world, so that when these stories are thrown up at us, we don't begin to think that, this is something so nefarious that this government is doing by hosting an exchange of prisoners. But beyond the hosting of the exchange of prisoners is the way in which this exchange is labeled. Here are these upstanding American citizens who were taken advantage of. They had no free or fair trial in Venezuela, and they were tried unjustly. But nobody, I doubt, if we do a call now, nobody knows who Alex Saab is. But as I explained, Alex Saab is a diplomat who was kidnapped by the Americans. Few people may know who Julian Assange is, but Julian Assange is an American journalist who was literally kidnapped by the British authorities, and he's now imprisoned in a high security prison in London, and he's waiting extradition to the United States for simply doing his job as a journalist. Now, we have to think about these things, because if we don't, people are always going to pull wool over our eyes. That's my take for this morning.
Very passionate. I liked it. Council, we have someone here saying, if these are the things that we know about, the US, etc., why do we flock to live in these countries?
Why what?
Not a country. Why do we flock to live in these countries?
Well, you see, that's a silly argument. If you're old as I am, and I don't know how old this person is, I remember when I was a youth and I talked about Cuba, people would say to me, in fact, I saw a silly lady saying that to me on Facebook some months ago, why don't you go and live in Cuba? Why must I go and live in Cuba? And I was born here and I live here. So people flock to Cuba in the same way in which in the early days, they flocked to Panama, to the United States. People flocked to the United States in the same way in the early days. They flocked to Panama when they were building the canal there. They flocked to Dominican Republic and Cuba when they were cutting cane. They went to Curacao or Aruba when the oil refineries were there. I remember my sister left and went to Barbados. So many of our people went to Trinidad. People don't know that it's only until 1965, when the law was changed, when the law was relaxed, 1965. How much is that? Less than 60 years. When the immigration laws were relaxed, which allowed for more and more of our people to go to the United States. Before that, a lot of our people went to England because it was more open policy. We were colonies of England, and we had a kind of free passage to go in there. So people flock to where opportunities are, and the fact that America is the richest country in the world, it is going to attract people. But that does not mean that we should absolve America when it invades Afghanistan, or when it invades Iraq, or when it constantly bomb Pakistan and Iran, not Iran, Iraq, Yemen, and Ethiopia and Sudan. These are our people. These are people who look like us who are being killed. People who look like us, our brothers, our kin who are being killed. So this silly argument that, oh, if America is so bad, why people flock there? People flock there because there's opportunities there. My mother went there in 1971 and she was able to make a life for herself. She was able to do so well that when she died, she was able to leave a significant inheritance for her children. People go where opportunities are. So this silly talk about why people would go there.
All right, Council. Let's take this call. Good morning, you're live.
Morning. Don't leave Canada and UK out of the number of countries that you are mentioning. Those should be on top of the list with America. 1, 2, 3.
Well, I didn't leave anyone. It left for people like you to add the others. But I'm in agreement with you.
But America has this problem, the racism, prejudice, police brutality, a million different, but I still think America is a great place to live.
But who would doubt that? I lived there for 21 years. I love America. I think America was able to help to shape my worldview. I got an education there. I mean, when I say I got it, I paid for it. At the end of the day, I had over $100,000 in student loans. But I paid for it. I got a good education there, a sound education. I was able to get a bachelor's degree. I was able to get a master's degree. I was able to get a law degree. It's a great country. But you can't confuse and conflate the country with the government. I mean, we criticize government here all the time. We don't criticize St. Vincent. We criticize the government. Similarly, people should feel free to criticize a government, and when we criticize the government, it doesn't mean we hate the country or we don't want to be there. In fact, the outstanding American literary giant James Baldwin said, "I am most critical of my country because it's all of that."
All right, have a good day.
Thank you,
All
Carl.
All right. Someone is asking if Council can give his take on our Prime Minister's response to the exchange.
Well, I mean, I think the Prime Minister was being unnecessarily coy. I don't think he needed to say what he said. I don't think but that's all I would say. Look, we are in the middle of this thing. We're in a lake. We have America on one side. We have Venezuela on the other side. We're in the middle. I believe what might have happened there is that the Americans, they agreed to do the exchange, and there was talk, where should we do this exchange? Biden's official might have said Barbados or Antigua or wherever else, and Maduro might have said St. Vincent because he has a fairly good relationship with St. Vincent. But Biden also has a very good relationship with St. Vincent. I mean, this government is very, very pro-American. So there was no difficulty there in an agreement that the exchange would take place on Vincentian soil. But there's nothing improper with that. Like I said, exchanges take place all the time, and countries are commended for facilitating these kinds of exchanges. I don't know why the Prime Minister thinks that he had to wrap that in mystery by saying he doesn't want to talk about it.
All right,
because
let's
it's not that deep.
This final caller. Good morning, you're live.
Hello, good morning. Good morning. Council, I'm in 100% agreement with you. I'm calling from America. On a government facility parking lot night I had. And I just criticize America for the wickedness America do. Doesn't mean we hate America, and just because America facilitating me to gain things materialistically doesn't mean I'm going to ignore the wickedness America have done and the wickedness America is going to do. With that said, I think it's a good look politically for St. Vincent to play mediator between America and Venezuela. There's a real good political look. So anybody who thinks it's something different than that, are they willfully blinded and intellectually wasted mentally? So we just have to really look past certain things and realize certain things and how certain things affect us directly and indirectly. Because I love my mother. If I find out my mother did some wickedness 1984, what am I going to do? Tell she's not wicked? So we have to really stop being biased and being hypocritical and laugh certain people, but applaud other people for doing the same thing because of who the people are. Equal rights and justice for all. Justice, big up, council, big up yourself. Continue to blaze in the fire and use an inspiration to me just to be a better human being. Big up yourself,
Love
council.
that. All right, thanks, Max. Council, again, nice to be man. Council, we can wrap up here.
Of course.
Yeah.
Until we meet again, Daniel. I find these Thursdays are coming so quickly. I think the world is spinning faster.
The days are shorter. You didn't know that?
Yeah. Every time we look, it's Thursday.
I'm
All
loving
right.
that. I'm loving that. If every
I
day
love
could
it
be
too.
Thursday,
I
I
love
would
it too.
be okay with that.
I love it
Have
too.
a great one.
All right. All the
And
best.
that's
Bye.
where we wrap up our Plain Talk segment with Council Thomas. Yeah, so I didn't take the breaks at the top. So please allow me to do that. Still to come within this hour, we have Mr. Weeks, and of course we're going to continue to keep bringing in your comments, taking your calls, and having our discussion. Stick around.
No matter where we come from, the journey begins.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company.
.svcooperativebank.com.
General Hardware still has the best prices on steel, lumber, and plywood. So go on, compare prices. And
At Pharmacy Plus, you can get your personal care, hair care, prescription, dental, and over-the-counter, and medical supplies at affordable prices. Located on Egmont Street, opposite Home Collection. We're open Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pharmacy Plus for supreme care and more.
You can win when you top it up, switch it up, set it up under love. Easy wins with love. Easy wins.
Catch the easy summer vibes with over $70,000 in cash and prizes. Just top up $10 or more. Activate a prepaid plan, switch to Flow, or bundle your home services to get your share of $70,000 in cash. Data, Samsung Galaxy devices, shopping vouchers, and more.
You can win when you top it up, switch it up, set it up under love. Easy wins with love.
No terms and conditions apply.
Family fun days are here. Now is the time for movie marathons, tasty treats, and outdoor fun. At Courts, we have the TVs, appliances, grills, pools, and more to make your home the place to be. Get it all today with no cash when you shop with Courts Ready Finance. Family fun days are on now. Get what you need at Courts, bringing value home. Offer ends July 23rd. Conditions apply.
Big People Events presents October Ragasoka Fest on Saturday the 22nd of October. Going down at Woodsy, 1133 Clarkson Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Showtime, 9 p.m. with live performance by Adrian Bailey and the Magma Band featuring Scorpion.
She left the road, the road, the road, big road.
Music by DJ Easy Sound. So get your early bird tickets at $35. Regular tickets at $40. Get your tickets at Woodsy Bar. Call 718-552-2687. Standard Shippers 718-469-8377. Adrian Bailey at 917-853-8441. Or Shani at 718-427-0385. So come celebrate with us. October Ragasoka Fest. Saturday 22nd October. Happy 43rd Independence SVG. Part sponsored by Standard Shippers.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company.
Throwback Thursday.
When they talk about evolution,
Boom 1069.
Start to wave it, start to whine, start to jump, join, see my jamming non-stop. Start to wave it, start to whine, start to jump, join, see my jamming non-stop. No sweeter place like Vincy on earth. St. Vincent, my homeland of my birth. Intentions of every creed and race, displaying itself for Carnival Day. Hey, Vincy Mass in my land, masqueraders inside the back, jumping up to a sort of beat, jab coming down to the streets. It don't matter where you come from, represent for St. Vincent strong. Wave around, show where you belong, then join with me and come sing this song. Sing, oh, I am a Vincy, a true Vincy. Sing, oh, I am a Vincy, a true Vincy. They give we 10 days of jumping up, 10 days of waving up, 10 days of winding up. Vincy Mass jamming non-stop. 10 days of jumping up, 10 days of waving up, 10 days of winding up. Vincy Mass jamming non-stop. Many years of working hard in the cold. Back and set are ready to go. It's festival time, I guess, so I'm coming home. Can't wait to see me friends them by me door. I miss the sunset, I miss the high road, I miss the wet fets. Can't wait to start sweat. I miss the strong rum, breadfruit and oil down, black fish and saltfish. That is how what true Vincentian a song sing. Oh, I am a Vincy, a true Vincy. Sing, oh, I am a Vincy, a true Vincy. Baby, we 10 days of jumping up, 10 days of waving up, 10 days of winding up. Vincy Mass jamming non-stop. 10 days of jumping up, 10 days of waving up, 10 days of winding up.
It's Throwback
Vincy Mass.
Throwback Thursday.
Woman move from in front the door. 10 years. How can I ignore? 10 years. You know I done book up me flight. 10 years. This ain't no time to be picking fight. 10 years. Do darling. 10 years. Stop your crying. 10 years. No more begging. 10 years. Useless pleading. 10 years. Girl, it's 10 years of mass and music. 10 years. 10 years I can't refuse it. 10 years. 10 years I one big fusion. 10 years. Calypso and mass and steam band. 10 years a DJ. Pumping night and day. Jam till we break away.
Easy. Move, move, move. See on the road, carnival time, strictly jamming on my mind. Lord, to kiss the instrument in my hand, my whistle and my iron. Too much. I need some assistance. Look, I need some assistance. I met this young girl named Irene. She want to intervene on my scene. But music in she had, she wouldn't settle. She just holding on to my whistle. She wanna blow me 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 whistle. When I play me iron. She wanna blow me whistle. She wanna blow me whistle. When I play me iron. She wanna blow me whistle. She wanna blow me whistle. Don't hear me. That's it. Don't hear me. Let's sit down there. Tension increase when wrong done wrong. She won't stop when I kingdom come. Lord, steady whistle in my head. She got me jumping on one leg. Too much. I need some resistance. Girl, I need some resistance. So I said, take it easy, Irene. You blowing my whistle to me. But music in she had, she wouldn't settle. She just holding on to my whistle. She wanna blow me 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 whistle. When I play me iron. She wanna blow me whistle. She wanna blow me whistle. When I play me iron. She wanna blow me whistle. She wanna blow me whistle.
We giving you the best throwback.
I love it.
On 106.9.
From the time I walk in this party, and my eyes behold you, the way you move in your body, like you want everyone to see. That mini skirt that you wearing, exposing your privacy, got me watching now and now. Can't take it no longer, baby. Don't bend down, just stand up and jam. Oh baby, don't tease me. You driving me crazy. Don't bend down, don't bend down. Don't bend down, don't bend down. Like you want to tease the whole party, whining like you don't care a damn. From the dance to the soca, anyone you bending over, that new French cut that you wearing, one look at you, and suddenly my eyes converse with my mind.
Throwback Thursday.
Just a smile from you, and suddenly my mind converse with my heart. You're the one I sought, no doubt about it. No, just one conversation is just what I need to know. You're not already taken, just one chance. All I need to tell this lady in the pom-pom shots, you are just what my night requires. I'm dying to get closer. Sexy lady in the pom-pom shots, come light up my night with your fire. I've got this desire, hey. I never judge a book until I read it. Do you love as good as you look? I love to prove it. I never judge a book until I read it. Do you love as good as you look? I love to prove it.
Woman was sick, so she went to Dr. Crick. Dr. Crick said she anemic right away. Because of she condition, he wrote a quick prescription, 500 milligrams of iron. I'm sorry for the woman, she nearly dead from iron. Too much iron, nearly kill a woman.
Throwback Thursday.
A woman was sick, so she went to Dr. Crick. Dr. Crick said she anemic right away. Because of she condition, he wrote a quick prescription, 500 milligrams of iron. I'm sorry for the woman, she nearly dead from iron. Too much iron, nearly kill a woman. Morning, noon and evening, capsule she taking. Too much iron, nearly kill a woman. Too much iron in she vein. Too much iron that she insane. Too much iron from Dr. Crick. Too much iron that she racing. At first was malnutrition, now is hypertension. Too much iron, they kill a woman. Every time she eating, iron she taking. Too much iron, they kill a woman. Growing up in the Caribbean, I was taught to honor Great Britain. But when I check out my history and I check out my ancestry, I have to face reality. Now I could wave a flag, I could boast and brag. I know who I am. I am an African. I'm proud of my motherland. Don't doubt me. I'm proud of my ancestry.
It's Throwback Thursday.
African Caribbean real time. See them in Miami, they jam in New York City. African Caribbean just right. Jump up, jump like an African. Jump up, jump like a West Indian. Jump up, wine up your Caribbean. Why them days when master had the whip, we could only fight with lip. Sweet, sweet music cannot resist. Them same people, they had the whip. Frustrations could not make them quit. Why-yo? See them at Victoria, how they want to jam ya. African Caribbean real time. See them in Miami, jam in New York City. African Caribbean just right. Jump up, jump like an African. Jump up, jump like a Vincent. Jump up, wine up your Caribbean. Why yo?
We giving you the best throwback.
I love it.
On 106.9. The evolution of radio. Boom 106.9.
Yes, Chubak Thursday, boy.
yeah,
Chubak
yeah.
Thursday, Shady.
Good vibes. Now
Oh
listen,
my
you can stay
goodness.
connected with New Flow Broadband 250 package and enjoy fiber fast internet connectivity at home and pay only $60 for the rest of the year. Broadband 250 package is available island-wide. To subscribe today, check them out in store, or you can send a WhatsApp message to the Flow Virtual at 494-5464. Terms and conditions do apply. Flow is keeping you connected. And make sure you check out Woodsy's Bar and Restaurant on 1133 Clarkson Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. You can get your appetizers. They've got your pulled chicken sliders, your mozzarella sticks, or even guacamole, your plantain chips. Yeah, I'm telling you, you can even get chicken rice and peas and all of that. So check out Woodsy's Bar and Restaurant. I hear it's a nice little vibe, so you really want to make sure you check it out today or on the weekend. All right, we do have Mr. Weeks' segment. I ain't run the break in a boy.
There it is.
All right, so let us jump out, take a commercial break, and then we will come back and welcome Mr. Weeks. He's going to give us his take on things.
Big People Events presents October Ragasoka Fest on Saturday the 22nd of October. Going down at Woodsy, 1133 Clarkson Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Showtime, 9 p.m. with live performance by Adrian Bailey and the Magma Band featuring Scorpion. Music by DJ Easy Sounds. So get your early bird tickets at $35. Regular tickets at $40. Get your tickets at Woodsy Bar. Call 718-552-2687. Standard shippers 718-469-8377. Adrian Bailey at 917-853-8441. Or Shani at 718-427-0385. So come celebrate with us. October Ragasoka Fest. Saturday 22nd October. Happy 43rd Independence SVG. Part sponsored by Standard Shippers.
Family Fun Day.
September is Credit Repair Month at Geku. We are improving access to credit for all members with great loan offers this September. We're easing loan requirements and offering different bundles to get you back on track. Manage these difficult times with loan bundles to fit your needs. Seamless access to loans, lower rates, and greater flexibility. Come in and speak to our loans officers today, and we will find affordable ways to repair your credit. Gecko's Credit Repair Month, improving access.
At Pharmacy Plus, you can get your personal care, hair care, prescription, dental, and over-the-counter, and medical supplies at affordable prices. Located on Egmont Street, opposite Home Collection. We're open Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pharmacy Plus, for supreme care and more.
Say, among friends and families, see, suspect, say, in the schools and communities, children of the future, they depend on you. Report to the authorities, that's what you should do. You see these signs, do what's right, put a stop to child abuse. See, suspect, say, among friends and families, a message from the Child Development Division within the Ministry of National Mobilization in collaboration with UNICEF.
Get the protection needed for your eyes only at Quartz Optical. Trade in and save up to 35% off your lens purchase, plus a free eye exam. Payment plans available from 3 to 24 months. Book your appointment today online at www.quartzoptical.com.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company.
Family Fun Days are here. Now is the time for movie marathons, tasty treats, and outdoor fun. At Quartz, we have the TVs, appliances, grills, pools, and more to make your home the place to be. Get it all today with no cash when you shop with Quartz Ready Finance. Family Fun Days are on now. Get what you need at Quartz, bringing value home. Offer ends July 23rd. Conditions apply.
At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company. Call us today at 784-456-1821 or email us at metrosint@fintoserve.com.
SVG this October, when we celebrate our 43rd anniversary of independence. Let's celebrate everything Vinci at the 2022 Everything Vinci Expo from October 24th to 28th, with displays of premium quality Vincentian products and services. Shop local, buy local, support local. It's Everything Vinci, the 2022 Expo at the Geest Terminal, October 24th to 28th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily, with a kids corner, themed entertainment 9 events, and local food and drinks on sale. For more info, call Invest SVG at 457-2159. Email everythingvincy@investsvg.com or follow Invest SVG on social media for updates.
Time to connect with the most loved man on radio. Sir Lancelot is in the building.
All right, we've got Mr. Weeks on the line. Good morning, Mr. Weeks.
Greetings and you, Shady Fernando.
Greetings, Mr. Weeks.
And all the listeners.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Weeks, I hope all is well with you. It's the floor is yours.
Yes, Daniel, I'm good. Thank you, and I hope all is well with you.
Thank you.
And Shady and Fernando.
Yes,
I hope you guys are good.
Yes. Yes, we're okay.
Yes. Daniel, I want to go back to Monday. I really want to spend some more time repeating some of what I said on Monday. But there's a couple of things I want to deal with other than that, and maybe I might leave that fish thing for another time, because the fishing industry is something I've been talking about for 30 years or so. And what I said on Monday, it wasn't any different to what I was saying before. As a matter of fact, one of the recordings that you played with a lady speaking actually made reference to it. A vendor said she pays the fishermen $8 per pound for the fish. Does any Vincentian believe that it costs $8 per pound to produce fish, to get it from the sea, to come to land it? Whether or not you believe, I know that it is so. And that is what I am saying that we need to address. That cost is too high. $8 per pound to land the fish is too high. And I happen to know that there are things that can be done to decrease that cost. But we come back to that another time. You see, last week, Thursday, when Shady came here and he started a bonfire, I warned him, you know. I know they would have think it's me and they would have come and attacked me. I saw it. Shady, you remember, right?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, you roast up a lot of fish here. Small ones now. But I know some people who know chichi to mean another thing. In another culture, in another language, chichi is a wood-eating insect. And there are those who know that, and when Shady bonfire and chichi, while I refer to it as the fish because that's how we know it, other people thought maybe I was talking about them. Yesterday, a friend drew to my attention that one of the callers spoke about me in a kind of way that I would leave to the judgment of the listeners. But what I understood him to be saying, the caller to be saying, is that at the end of the day, one election, I don't know if he said which one, I was seen at a polling, seeing where the votes were being counted. And I can say at a polling station because in our elections, buying drinks, that would be totally outside of my character. I am not a drinker. My days of partying was completed more than 25 years ago. And it's not the first time this man is doing that, you know. once came here and said that he was at the ministry where I had responsibility. And they told him that some certain thing I was doing wrong. And my response was, it's our time now. I happen to know that a policeman told the wife of this man to tell him not to interfere with me. I didn't make any report to the policeman, They were making a report about me. And I heard the policeman say to her, tell your husband and you not to interfere with Mr. Weeks. And why is he doing that? Why is he attacking my character like that? Why is he just seeking to make it seem I am some political lackey? I don't have a brain in my head to think about myself. No, I assume that the drinks he's talking about is rum. I am a rum drinker at a polling station, celebrating a victory where counting was going on. How the hell can I celebrate counting that was victory when counting was still going on? And he saw it. What is wrong with you, sir? Why can't you leave me alone? I have a couple of things I can recommend that you do with your time. I have done so in the past and I can do it again. So leave me alone. I don't interfere with you. I leave the radio for you. Boom SVG, and more specifically Bing. Bing, I hope you're okay where you are today if you're listening. Bing invited me here to speak. And that's what I do. Outside of that, I don't compete with you for your time. You come and you say all that you want to say, and that's your business, that's your prerogative. While you're doing that, I am doing other things. I am no political lackey. When I come here and speak, I speak with over 50 years of reading, of listening, and I'm talking about serious reading because I was always a serious reader. I don't know how many persons in St. Vincent remember the article Dear Son in one of our local publications. I spent all of my days reading and listening, and I did some traveling, and in my traveling I observed. So when I speak, it is on that basis that I speak. I don't come here to defend any political party. When there's elections and I feel to support a party, whether here or elsewhere, I do that. There's no election now. We're talking about economic development. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about current country. Lifting St. Vincent. And I listened to Dr. Richards on Tuesday and Wednesday. And he made two excellent presentations. And I happen to agree with Dr. Richards that if we were to flip the order in which Maslow presented his hierarchy of needs, as individuals, if we were to do that as individuals, if we were to pursue happiness and pursue self-actualization and self-esteem and so, we will do better at the physiological needs. I happen to believe in that. But when Dr. Richards presented yesterday, I had a question for him. And that is I can be violent with Dr. Richards. I know he gave credit to the fact that he was referring to with respect to the windfall that the government is expected to get as a result of increased prices around the world. An elementary economic question I would have asked the professor: are you assuming that when prices go up, the consumers in St. Vincent are going to find money to buy the same amount of things that they're going to buy, that they used to buy? Because that's the only way the government can get a windfall. If consumers, whether from their savings or they earn it otherwise, inject more money into their spending. But if they're going to spend the same amount of money buying less items, at the end of the day, the aggregate amount taken by the government would be the same. You may see a windfall at the beginning, but it is going to tend to the same amount. And that's my opinion. As I said, I have spent over 50 years reading. I have read casually for fun. I have read for information. And I've read in my academic pursuits. I have read in an attempt to get certain certificates, certain degrees at various levels, at various institutions. I have been involved in administration. I have been involved in statistics. And it is on that basis I speak. So don't come here and try to discredit me and make me seem like I am some political lackey in a polling station where votes are being counted and celebrating. How is that possible? Are you saying that I knew the vote was rigged or something? That's what you were trying to implicate me with, sir? I hope your wife spend time listening to your presentation on evenings, because Boom give the listeners and those who cannot listen in the morning the privilege of hearing us what we say here in the morning. I hope she heard you interfering with me yesterday again. And she will call the police and apologize to the police this time for you interfering with me. I don't interfere with you, sir. Leave me alone. Fernando, on Monday, your callers gave the impression that I was speaking down to you, and it seemed as though you agreed with them. Fundamentally. And Daniel may remember that it is something I always speak against, that it doesn't make sense for two persons to be speaking at the same time. Because most times, they're not hearing what each other is saying, or the listener's hearing. I sit here and I listen. Listening is one of my favorite pastimes. I sit here and I listen to radio here and not elsewhere. And too often, persons think that they're having a conversation, they're having an exchange. But none of them is benefiting, nor the public, the listeners benefiting. Because you can't hear what either of them is saying because they're trying to speak over each other. And that's the point I was making. If my tone or whatever offended you or offended your listeners, I take responsibility and I apologize for that. But it's a simple fact that I was pointing out. I do that to many other persons I speak to here. Please, I listen to you. When you're speaking, I listen. I don't interrupt you. So you ask me a question, you make a 1-minute presentation to me. And I just think that it is common courtesy to allow me to speak. That's my presentation for today. Those are my comments.
All right, thank you, Mr. Weeks. Well, Mr. Weeks, as you would have pointed out, some of the listeners would have felt that you were sort of like
I felt like Mr. Weeks, you were condescending.
Yeah, because you were making your point, but I do allow you to talk all the time, but I interjected because you would have said, see yourself as a taxpayer or something to that effect. And I only said that I see myself, I always see myself as one. So I think you didn't want me to come in at that point, but I was just saying that, sometimes we have to interject a bit if we think that, something is being said that, that needs to be addressed. I normally allow you to speak and express yourself, right? And if I have a question, I will ask you or two, right? So I think some persons, and in a sense, it was sort of condescending, as Daniel said, you know what I mean? But I didn't really take any hard feeling to that extent, but what I
Mr.
mean?
Weeks means well.
Mr.
It's
Yeah.
just a little-
Fernando,
Yes.
that's your. Sorry, Daniel. Go ahead.
Yes.
No. I said you mean well. It just gets a little.
Emotional.
Fernando.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, that's your opinion.
Yes.
I get. And the caller who said I treated you as a child, maybe remember that's what parents did to us. It's bad manners for two persons to be speaking at the same time. So maybe that's what they were referring to. That's something I hold dearly to my heart, because I tell you, I am a listener. It's a skill to listen, It's something that we take for granted. Many of us think we are listening when we are only hearing.
Yes.
Listening is a skill that you have to develop.
Right, but I'm saying we do listen, and that's why I was able to interject, because I was listening. You know what I mean? So I mean, you probably don't want me to interject while you were speaking, but I did find the need to sort of, because I was listening. So it's because I was listening why I was able to interject a bit. But you know what I mean? It wasn't anything that, in a sense, that how you put it across, that I should wait and this, and it was kind of, kind of aggressive. But I didn't really have any
All
hard
right, let's
feeling
move
for
on.
it.
We
You know what I
good.
mean?
We
I
good.
didn't
All
have
right,
any hard
water on the
feeling.
bridge. Mr. Weeks is good, right? Mr. Weeks, you
Let-
good?
let him-
I am good, Daniel. I'm
All
all
right, Fernando, you good?
Well, yeah, I got me and Mr. Weeks as soldiers,
Boy, it sounded like you ain't sure if you good.
Mr. Weeks, I's your friend, right? As Bart say, you're my best friend right now.
That's what Bart tell you.
Bart, yeah, Bart. Bart.
As Bart.
Bart. My friend here, Bart, and be live.
I just can tell you, as Bart father, I say that all the time. The late Morris John.
Yes.
He's one of my favorite persons I have met. That's one of the persons who prepared me to write the Common Entrance in many years ago, maybe a century ago.
Yes.
And he came back later on and we worked together. And him and I, with the support of others, delivered to the community that we are from.
Yeah.
A magnificent facility, if I say that for myself.
Yeah.
The Stubbs Polyclinic. Morris and I worked together in that.
Okay.
After he prepared me to write the Common Entrance many years before that. So I have respect for Asbot in that sense. But you're talking about Bert.
There's Bart Alexander.
Who I have a lot of respect for his father as well.
Bart Alexander. You know Bart Alexander, father?
Oh, maybe, you don't know his father?
He wants me to read a comment to you.
You don't know Sebastian? Sebastian? Isn't that Bert's father?
Bart father? Bassi Alexander?
Bart should answer.
But you need to answer this first. So Bart was said he thinks it's very condescending.
We say water on the bridge.
Okay. But
Are we not moving on?
We move on. But don't add anything to this.
But you think like that all the time.
Exactly.
Okay.
So let's
And
just
I don't get offended by those comments.
Okay.
I get offended when a man come and tell you, and tell the world, discrediting me, libeling me.
And Mr. Weeks, I apologize at those. I didn't even realize. Sometimes, someone said to me that you're referring to Hamill.
Yeah, I think.
So I didn't even realize that he says so much things in such a short space. Sometimes we really miss a lot of what is coming out. Like you can't keep up with what he's saying.
Yeah.
So I must apologize for those comments that were made against you and your
This was the days when I had responsibility for
You would have sued?
telecom and
You would have sued?
no, and had the final to hand out the license. I would have written to Boom quite a few times already. So that is what is done in our other jurisdictions.
I think maybe Boom need to get the presenters and some of the listeners together and just have a day of.
No, you don't need to get anybody together. All people need to do is to have respect
Yes.
for each
Agreed.
other and
Agreed.
speak the truth.
Agreed.
But where you and Hamilton might have some disagreement, it probably might be good if you guys sit down.
What? You know what, Mr. Weeks?
Mr. Weeks,
Mr. Weeks, you
Mr.
know,
Weeks,
I wanna
thanks very
say-
much.
Thank you very much. I don't think Fernando needs to go and
That's a
get
good
some
idea.
medication.
I think some
You
persons
catch my
would say
drift?
that's a good idea, man.
No, Fernando needs to go and get some medication, Mr. Weeks. Excuse him. Thank
Mr.
you.
Weeks, have a good day, man.
Had I said that, Daniel, Jesus, Lord, your program with a mashup.
No, well, they
I
would
said it jest. I'm not saying it with like a rude tone.
yeah, you know what I mean?
Everybody can tell
yes.
I'm joking.
Daniel is joking.
But maybe it's true. Maybe Fernando needs to get some.
No, it's not true at all. It's not true. She
You
knows
know,
I'm
you
well
know,
intact and
your
well prepared and
medication
ready.
to do-
Yeah, well, because remember, you know, Mr. Weeks, if you say something and I see the need to talk it a little bit and adjust it, I just say, Daniel, don't know I stand already. I mean, no ill, but you know what I mean, how the thing going on.
Fernando,
Yes, sir.
I don't have a problem with engaging.
Yes.
All I'm asking for is a principle that my mother taught me
Yeah.
many years ago.
Yeah.
And I listen all the time, and I know it irritates many of your listeners.
Yeah.
I get the complaint from time to time.
What is that?
That they can't hear what the caller is saying because you have two persons speaking at the same time.
But how often do you hear that happening here? I mean,
Well, Fernando, you need to listen.
I'm listening, Mr. Weeks. I'm asking you, how often do you hear it here? Because normally I see the approaches that we allow persons to express themselves, then we engage.
Fernando, at the end of the day, when the program is repeated, you need to listen to it.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Yeah.
But thank you guys. You guys have a great weekend.
You as well, Mr. Weeks.
And
Have a good one.
I sorry we are on air because some adjectives I would have loved to.
Well, Mr.
use
Weeks,
this
remember,
morning.
usually at the end of the year, we have a nice, come
No,
together.
that,
So-
I'm saying
you just
some of
tell
the-
me.
Some of the issues that I spoke about this morning, I would have loved to be
As in the
somebody
OMG.
by the bank.
Yeah.
Talking about them so I can use the adjectives.
Thank you, Mr. Weeks.
Have a great weekend.
All right, have a good one. And that's where we wrap up our segment with Mr. Weeks. We are 1 minute over the top, so let's take this commercial break into a station ID. You're locked on to the trending station.
Tired of waiting at bus stops? Then let the SVG Teachers Cooperative Credit Union Limited put you in the driver's seat with our Drive Your Dream Vehicle loan.
Big People Events presents October Ragasoka Fest on Saturday the 22nd of October. Going down at Woodsy, 1133 Clarkson Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Showtime, 9 p.m. with live performance by Adrian Bailey and the Magma Band featuring Scorpion.
She left the road, the road, the road. Big road.
Music by DJ Easy Sounds. So get your early bird tickets at $35. Regular tickets at $40. Get your tickets at Woodsy Bar. Call 718-552-2687. Standard Shippers 718-469-8377. Adrian Bailey at 917-853-8441. Or Shani at 718-427-0385. So come celebrate with us. October Ragasoka Fest. Saturday 22nd October. Happy 43rd Independence SVG. Part sponsored by Standard Shippers.
The authorities, that's what you should do. You see the signs, do what's right, put a stop to child abuse. See, suspect, say! Among friends and families, a message from the Child Development Division within the Ministry of National Mobilization in collaboration with UNICEF.
No matter where we come from, the journey begins the same for all of us. There are no easy ways to achieve our dreams. The road is paved with determination.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincentians that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company.
Steel, lumber, and plywood. So go on, compare prices. And if by chance you find a better price, no stress. Just talk to the General, and they will beat that price plus give you special priority delivery. Yes, General Hardware offers free island-wide delivery on most purchases, so you never have to worry about getting your goods on site on time. Plus, shopping
At Pharmacy Plus, you can get your personal care, hair care, prescription, dental, and over-the-counter, and medical supplies at affordable prices. Located on Egmont Street, opposite Home Collection. We're open Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pharmacy Plus, for supreme care and more.
Whatever you need. You can win when you top it up, switch it up, set it up on the line. Easy wins with love. Easy win.
Get the easy summer vibes with over $70,000 in cash and prizes. Just top up $10 or more. Activate a prepaid plan, switch to Flow, or bundle your home services to get your share of $70,000 in cash, data, Samsung Galaxy devices, shopping vouchers, and more.
You can win when you top it up, switch it up, set it up on the love. Easy wins with love.
No terms and conditions apply.
Island Sip, Caribbean fruit flavor. Island Sip, they mix the plum rose with the water. Island Sip, plum rose sparkling water.
Grab a bottle now. Island Sip Plum Rose Sparkling Water. Beyond water.
When's the last time you heard styles like these?
Are you ready for we go show?
Party done.
Throwback Thursday. We giving you the best throwback, the anthems, and dance all great. Throwback Thursday.
When the top boy evolution.
Boom, 106.9.
Freedom is a must. Liberation seek that fuss. You have to compound with the chorus.
Concrete jungle won't let me be a concrete jungle. I've got to break free. Concrete jungle has taken a hold on me. But I've got to break free, yeah. Yes, I've got to be free. I'm walking through the town with my head on the ground. The pressure's coming down. I've got nowhere to run. I smoke a little herb in a jar pipe just to break free, yeah. Just to break free, to be free, yeah. Just to be free, and concrete jungle won't let me be, yeah. Concrete jungle, I've got to break free. Concrete jungle has taken a hold on me. But I've got to break free,
Freedom is a must. Liberation seek that fuss. You have to compound with the
the best throwback.
jungle
106.9.
Concrete jungle, I've got to break free. Concrete jungle has taken a hold on me. But I've got to break free, yeah. Yes, I've got to be free.
I'm walking through the town with my head on the ground. The pressure's coming down. I've got nowhere to run. I smoke a little herb in a jar pipe just to break free, yeah. Just to break free, to be free, yeah. Just to be free, and concrete jungle won't let me be, yeah. Concrete jungle, I got to break free. Concrete jungle has taken a hold on me. But I've got to break free, yeah. Yes, I've got to break free,
Them drunk of me, them a go call out. No, them in my poop up, they have to ball out. Them rough me make a go fall out. No, me been far too high, them drunk of me, them a go call out. No, them in my poop up, they have to ball out. Them drunk of me, them a go call out. No, them in my poop up, they have to ball out. Them rough me make a me and them go fall out. No, me been 45, I feel all out. Them run up in me, them a go call out. Now them with my poop up, they have to ball out. Them rough in me, come me and them go fall out. Now me been 45, I feel all. Master Roman out there, hit them bro. So the fuck a dilly dally. Never ready, so they try them down a dead valley. And when they ball out to the final finale, you gon' find nobody dead in an alley. Master Roman out there, worry. They come to tell me sorry. Have them confirm me when they come. Master Roman out there, me have the judge, me gon' be jury. They the same things as the pump. Master Roman out there, them a go call out. Now them with my poop up in the happy ball out. Them rocky they come here and they go fall out. Now me been 45 happy all out. Now them rocky them a go call out. Now them with my poop up in the happy ball out. Them rocky they come here and they go fall out. Now me been 45 happy all out. Mama run for cover on a turn off the cover. Pass me Glock and I need the bucket cover. Who think the bad well them soon to discover that me don't pack the rubber we no hope so me cover. I'm a trigger happy nigga that don't in a hill figure. The go get bigger, call the grave digger. Never say never, try me ready if you are never. And even feel the clever better. Boy that, me gun by my side so you know me nah run. Who think them mad and I keep them carbon. You still kinda young, natural your life son. Run out of ammunition, know them can't done. Me gun by my side so you know me nah run. Who think them mad and I keep them carbon. Still kinda young, natural your life son. Run out of ammunition, know them can't done. You know me kill it boy, me do it in the cars. You put yourself in it boy, you better draw the cross. We are the boys, boy, you better draw fast. And tomorrow shall die when me licking at the park. So up the whole village when we start all the cars. You feel say me mad, know me crazy to talk. Never send so cheap. You wanna know it's all burning with the action.
I try to think about the way you hold my hands, eluding all my doubts. As I am your man, and in my time of need, I know that's where we'll be to brighten up my life. And with the passion I see, I need that fire that you've got, so you'll acquire my love. And one desire now is that you take me higher. You changed my world, and you're the one I've been asking for. I try to think about the way you hold my hand.
Throwback Thursday.
I am your man, and in my time of need, I know that's where we'll be to brighten up my life. And with the passion I see, I need that fire that you've got, so you'll acquire my love. And one desire now is that you take me higher. You changed my world, and you're the one I've been asking for. You are my girl, you got me crying no more. Oh, you changed my world, you're the one I've been asking for. You are my girl, you got me crying no more. Oh, and it pains to see the day that you're now leaving. I'm ashamed to be the one you were deceiving. And now that you're on your own, it makes me cry to think that you've got my throat. You mastered lies, and you play to love me, and you never cared, and you play to hug me. Please understand, you changed my world, and you're the one I've been asking for. You are my girl, you got me crying no more. Oh, you changed my world, you're the one I've been asking for.
fi have the energy fi make them gleamer. Professional strategy and not them scream for. They want the fire fi make them hot next steamer. But man them want the agony fi make them meaner. Master room in the house. Hey, y'all are there in the house. Well, the gal them complain, so them can't get the agony. So me lend them the big length of mahogany. Them want the agony fi make them meaner. You want to have the energy fi make them gleamer. Professional strategy and not them screamer. They want the fire fi make them hot extra hot. And them want the agony fi make them meaner. You want to have the energy fi make them gleamer. Professional strategy and not them screamer. They want the fire fi make them hot like steamer. Well, me the iron, the girl them a call out. Say them want the agony fi make them fall out. Me the major the and them girl just fall out. She give them the slap and the boy get star out. Me a study and me broke girl from all bout. And mechanic and me too give it stone. Love girl me slam and me make them talk out. All of me secret me ready to talk out. Me a one boy, we don't make no mistake. Me no fit take me knife and cut up y'all fruit cake. Enough time me rock y'all mouth with scotch tape. So when me a walk, no some can't escape. Come on them on the agony fi make them meaner. You want to have the energy fi make them gleamer. Professional strategy and not them screamer. Them want the fire fi make them hot like steamer. Come on them on the agony fi make them meaner. You want to have the energy fi make them gleamer. Professional strategy and not them screamer. Them want the fire fi make them hot like steamer.
All the girls come surround me. Them sign contract, them on the hold me. Them sit down punch on tickle me. Girls, girls, girls. I have got all the girls come surround me. Them sign contract, them on the hold me. Them sit down punch on tickle me. Girls, 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 girls. I met this girl, them nana. We went to see the rama. She was the wedding planner. It was a happy drama. But then I turned to Dana. I said it is my honor to just give you the hammer. I got the stick of mama. But when she get the hammer, they say she like the spanner. The girl went to Guyana. I tell you Alabama. She nearly hit Savannah. When she get the banana, I got to tie down. She out with me bandana. She started to sing Madonna. And I to get me banner. You know I got a ladder. Wanna to pull your hammer. Put up in a she bladder. She got me like a ladder. Excuse my English and partner. My God, my God. All the girls come surround me. Them sign contract, them all hold me. Them sit down punch on take on me. Girls, 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 I got. All the girls come surround me. Them sign contract, them all hold me. Them sit down punch on take on me.
DJ Shady, man. It's fire, it's fire. And Mary always love your music. Alicia John said, DJ, the right song for the right hour. And that's just local Vincentian music. What's the name of the rhythm? Somebody was asking.
This one named Girls Jammer.
Girls Jammer.
And the one before was
from Master Room.
Master
Concrete
Room,
Jungle
Master
Rhythm.
Room, yeah.
Yeah. What is it called?
Master Room.
Right.
Master
So that is local music for those who want to know. Eh?
Yeah, we did say that we'll be doing more segments with Vincy music.
Exactly.
And you see, they go still say we ain't playing nothing for Independence Day. So please know that was all local music.
Local music, man.
Please know that was
Skinny
all
in there.
local.
We had our very
music.
own Galane in there.
Listen. That song from Abuza though.
Yeah.
I really always
I'm
Abuza fan. Yeah, boy, you can like you just
concrete.
Man, we gotta get Abuza in here sometime, man.
Which one are you talking about?
Abuza.
Which
Change my life.
Oh. And Yafa Tutu, Concrete.
Yeah,
Jungle
yeah.
Boy.
But come on, we know
biggest
this. Yeah. But the one for Abuza, I just have a level of sweetness.
Do you remember one from Full Clip too?
Yeah, Full Clip.
Hey, Full Clip.
Yeah, Devious.
Yeah. Real. Things.
A chocolate that girl flow there.
Who?
It's the DJ with Tasha and too.
I think I know who you mean, but I can't
I
bring
mean,
the name.
I know you.
the name.
I think it's Teeth. Teeth, they used to call him Riff Raff.
Riff
man.
Boy,
you know, Vincy have so much talent, man. Vincy have so much talent.
Lad.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
Or
Watch
something
things,
else,
boy.
boy.
Yeah, them so
Talent,
start
innit?
out singing dance.
Yeah.
Boom,
Yeah,
blast.
man.
They
you
get
have to
through. They
throw
get
up
through
those,
with
yes.
soca. So good for them. But we wanted to discuss one more topic
Yes.
this morning. Just a developing story. We don't
Yeah.
have all the information on it, but it's definitely
Something to
yeah.
really, yeah.
A vessel.
Mm-hmm.
You can read the story if you want. You read the story so that we get the.
So this one is from St. Vincent Times. The St. Vincent Times understand that the vessel, which purportedly left St. Vincent on Tuesday en route to the British Virgin Islands, was allegedly held in St. Kitts this afternoon with illegal drugs. Allegations are, so that was from yesterday. Allegations are that several crew members were taken into custody after the vessel was searched at Deepwater Port in Border Rock, St. Kitts, and a large quantity of cocaine and marijuana were purportedly discovered. According to Wynne, custom officials in St. Kitts could not confirm or deny the information when questioned. However, the publication stated that custom officials said that the matter was being looked into and a joint statement would be issued. There is also a video showing the jugs being carried away by police officials, security official, and they're saying that the story is still developing. I think.
So let's go over the facts that we have so far, that we are hearing from this story.
Yes.
So the ship.
The vessel left from St. Vincent on Tuesday.
Right, but they don't know if it left as in it was passing through St. Vincent.
Well, it was loaded,
Right.
Or if it was that's what I'm
loaded,
saying.
They didn't say that. They didn't say that.
Right. So we don't know.
And interestingly, it was headed for British Virgin Island, but it was held in St. Kitts.
I see there's a lot of war going on up that side. A lot of drugs as well.
Yeah.
Oh.
In the islands, yeah.
But how was it held in St. Kitts?
I don't know. I'm interested to hear more about this to find out exactly, because also the crew, we would then get an idea of where the crew is from and who.
Well, as charges, as the charge, when they charge someone, I guess they would.
Well, Winston is saying, I'm guessing he would have seen other articles on it.
Yeah.
Is that according to other articles, it was loaded in Vincy.
Okay. So the article, another article confirm that.
That's what he's saying.
Okay. And there was there was a large quantity of
where we going with that, boy?
Cocaine and marijuana.
Where we going with that? And in the video, what exactly does the video show?
But
so I didn't see the video.
It was basically showing the jugs. They covered in like tarpaulin and so forth. Well, it seems like it's actually in the boat. And
it was cocaine?
There were cocaine, large quantity of cocaine and marijuana. So I don't know if from our local standpoint, if we will be doing any investigation, but they should.
But locally, do we do checks and stuff like that when people are loading boats or anything like that? Like what
you see, if it's a private vessel, you probably might load your thing on down Leeward or somewhere on the beach somewhere, and and
but
so I don't know if it's a private.
I don't think they go on at the port. I don't think they would do that.
Well, if it's if
right,
if
so
the
they
thing,
probably dock on like a private
probably
beach or something.
Well, they do
shady,
right, and then load them up.
When you say you don't think it would go on there, there's a possibility that it goes on.
No.
Right.
You think it's
have to
hard.
have everybody there involved to
know that.
To get through with that.
Yeah.
You have to have a real connection.
Well,
I believe.
Exactly, you have to get connections.
Because they do a lot of checks at the wharf,
you're saying. So, I mean, these things happen. The persons get connections and they allow them to do the thing, or
But if it's a speedboat, because Shady was coming up with another way that they could possibly make that happen with them a speedboat going out to me. How often does the Coast Guard make rounds and
well, there's something
and do these checks? Yeah, maybe one of these days. Let us be out like what?
But you just have to have
so
the right
you
timing
regularly on the water. You're the Coast Guard. Like to me, being by your base, it's not doing your work.
Okay,
It's
okay,
supposed to
yeah.
have people always out on the water. So you think you use fish. So I have to ask you,
that
you
is-
see
that
them all the
is- yeah,
time.
that is- yeah, that is-
Well, maybe they time the Coast Guard time to know. Because it's a big
You
vessel.
see, it
You
is.
saw a
What
photo of the
what I'm
vessel?
seeing now, I'll try and send. Look, okay. I'm trying. I probably might have to send this to
Right.
Shady. Even the
I don't.
covering.
It doesn't have a link. He won't be able to load it. I don't
Oh.
think.
You see in the yeah. That would be in.
Somebody is asking, whose cocaine is this?
Yeah.
Well, let me
And
tell
then
you who
it
don't
seems
know.
it
I
ap-
don't know, and I don't want to know.
Man, it seems
grow
it
cocaine
actually.
here, so
All we know is-
it actually seems
Yeah.
actually seems like a big vessel. So maybe it was loaded, up at the port.
which port it came from first?
Yeah, that's something we don't know as yet. But it seems like a big vessel. And what happened? There's a lot of trading with regards to hard food, wrong provision, so forth, going to these areas.
So I mean, it's you're hiding it then. Basically, you load it on with all your
Yes,
other.
probably that is something that took place during that time.
But they'll have to check the provision and stuff that goes out does have to be checked and
When
and
you say
certified
check,
first.
when you say check and sort, like how
They
they
probably-
checking it? Because
Yeah.
I could just look in the box and be like, all right, cool, you're good. Am I
they're
going
supposed to
through
be
it
checked.
thoroughly?
Yeah.
Supposed to.
They're making a note of whatever
Yeah.
and stuff
No,
like
I don't
that.
think they normally do a thorough check, or it's very difficult for them to do a thorough check with all these things. So you probably would have to go off searching a few stuff.
Well,
and,
we have
things.
the proof that.
And I don't
something
think we
ain't
have like
checking.
sniffing dogs and thing around.
We don't have plenty things. We don't have a lot of things to help us, but maybe that's why people look to use St. Vincent
Yeah.
as a means to get these things
Yes.
done, because
Yes.
we seem to not be vigilant in a lot of these areas. Preston said speculations are it was loaded at sea with the intent to offload at sea before their final destination. Right, so that's
okay.
I'm learning things today.
So
boy.
then, if that's the case, then somebody on board would have to know what is taking place.
Yeah, so we're gonna continue to monitor that story. I know that we're gonna get more information on it. Good morning, you're live.
Yeah, Mr. Weeks was saying it's bad manners to interrupt when someone's speaking, and he's a good listener. So that I wonder if that's the reason why he left the Sunday program, because the main host don't allow people to talk. Unless it's the Prime Minister speaking. Unless it's the Prime Minister or Camilo speaking, everybody else he interrupts them. You don't allow them to say something that you disagree with, or you challenge them.
Right.
So I wonder if that's the reason and he leave the program. I'm just saying. Have a good day.
Thanks, man. Thanks for your man.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. So back to
I
this.
don't even know why that take me completely left field. So yeah, we will continue to monitor that
Yes,
story, and you know
yes.
one of the reasons why I'm so confident we'll probably get more information on it, because it's not us that is investigating it. So I think we will get some more information on it. It's true. It's true. Final caller before we make way for Dr. Richards. Good morning. You're live on 106.9.
Good morning, Ms. Vera.
Morning.
Fernando, good morning.
Good morning.
Shady, good morning. Fernando.
Yes, sir.
I was listening to the program this morning, and I chose to call now because I often listen to you, and I find you have come and you have fit into that position very, very, very wonderful.
Thanks.
And listening to you on mornings, my brother, you really fit in and does a wonderful job.
Thanks, man.
And I am not here to criticize anyone or anything like that. But when I listen, no, I'm saying, when I listened to this morning of what has been said, I ask myself if that is coming from the same person, because one time I called a program with him and he embarrassed me.
Oh, wow.
He embarrassed me, right? And I said, you know what he said after? You know who's speaking? And I was like, no, because I didn't recognize him at the while. But I call radio programs, and sometimes Daniel will say, oh, we're not on that topic today, Charles. So be the case. And I will say, oh, okay, I'm sorry. And because if there's a topic that you're speaking about, I would gladly change and try to go and make my contribution. And if I can't make my contribution on the topic, I'll say, okay, I'll leave it for another time. And I like to listen, and this is why when I listen, I could respond to people in the correct way. But I can't complain and say that you don't listen. I often listen to you. I often listen to Daniel. Daniel put up with a lot of things with Mr. What's his name when he calls in. You know what I'm speaking about. And it is not easy. I heard it the other morning. I was gonna call, but I say, I'll let it slide. But it's not easy every time to hear a phone slamming in your ears. It is not. It is very bad. That is very bad. And I speak about it, and I've often asked him when he makes his contribution. He has a lot of points that he makes good contributions, but he gets to shout and carry on and then slam the phone down. You're not speaking to animals, and you're not speaking to someone who don't have understanding. And Daniel put up with a lot of things by listening. And that morning she got to the edge where she said she couldn't really take it no more. Because she's not a child. You guys are not kids there. And we all have to learn to understand that, and we all have to learn to approach people and speak to people in a kind and gentle way that we can all understand. It is correct. It is correct to say what he's saying. Two people can't speak at the same time. But sometimes, you think that the space is open for you to make that contribution and how to interact. And you would make the interaction.
Yes.
Right? But to say that you do this and you don't listen and you talk and you talk too much, this and no, come on. Programs like these are to be to interact, and you could argue a point and then one will come to a standstill and listen, and so be it.
And especially if you're listening.
Exactly. And if you're listening and know what the topic is and you want to interact, you should be interacting. Right? So my brother, you keep up, and you have been doing a wonderful job for the time you have been there, and for the time I have listening to you. And I like the way you speak up more than Shady sometimes. All you catching out all the damn fish and them.
I tell him.
I can't pay $15 a pound. No, but I agree with him because it shows that he could go out there and he don't have to go to the fish market to pay them humongous price for fish. So he's doing a wonderful thing to keep the family going, and that's good. So guys, have a wonderful morning, and thank you.
Thank you, Charles. All right, on that note, we're gonna jump out and take a commercial break as we make way for Dr. Richards. That's coming up next. No claps for you.
No claps for me, boy. I want
I've
to
been
raise
begging
some
for
of the
applause from Shady for different things, and you don't
Shady,
have it.
no, Shady has to start to give me some
Anytime
effect,
you
man. Give me some clapping
Ah.
effect.
Anytime you want to clap, you can clap.
Yeah, we have a caller.
So,
Yeah.
nope. We
So before you go, there are some persons making comment on the issue.
All right, quickly, and then we jump out.
Niece is saying it's the big boys connection, and it ain't no coincidence. Angela is
Big
saying for the
boys.
amount of drugs Blank is alleged in the
Okay, she's alleging who
the
she
captain
thinks,
is
right,
part of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there
These
are
are
persons
only
who are expressing their
allegations.
for now. But as time goes by, and I think Frank was saying we could investigate it too, so we probably gotta do some investigation.
Good morning, you're live on
Good morning.
169.
Yes, good morning. Good morning. I missed most of the talk this morning.
No problem, but let's get going.
I just want to say this. I have been around for some time, talking, speaking on the radio. I've made a lot of friends, all because of the respect I get.
Yeah.
Of course, there will be the few who can think beyond and so on. But I have built a good relationship with a lot of people over the years with my talking on the radio. To my surprise, the sort of people I've come into contact with who listen to me and all of that. I say this because some of us are too thin-skinned. Yes, sometimes you may say things that do not really fit the conversation or, are in context with what you're talking about. I am just saying all of this to safeguard some of our people who make contributions. When you're on the radio, you have to be broad back. You have to have a big back or whatever broad back as you say.
Right.
You have to be well equipped. I listen to some people on radio, they're not fit to be on radio. Nobody cares for what I have been accustomed to. Some people are limited.
Right.
You have to be well read as well, right? And your attitude, you must remember you're dealing with the whole world, so to speak. You're dealing with the people of all kinds. And some of us cannot deal with some of these people because we are not exposed enough. We don't have enough experience and all of that. Yeah. But I see all of this because Dr. Richards, I regret I didn't realize I moved the radio yesterday when you were responding to me, but I got the impression that you really responded to me, and I missed most of what you had to say. I know, Justin is one of our younger people as an economist at the university. I know of Professor Ogaro, who is a Vincentian. And Vincentians need to know about these people who have excelled. And by the way, let me say Justin Robinson, who is now doing well at the University of the West Indies. I think he's based at Capel. He is the son of who I was, a one-time activist before you hear all these young people. He is the son of Nelson Robinson. I don't know how much of the generation today know about Nelson Robinson, but he has been a real activist and an educator for many years in this country. But I say all of this to say, we have to grow up, and we have to learn to respect one another, mind how we speak to one another, in no condescending manner. I think some of us, because we are educated, think that we are the brightest, we can't be challenged, or we can't be critiqued or criticized and all of that. So I just say all of this because I've been around a long time, and I don't want to let down myself. I want to be a beacon of hope and of light and all of that. Thank you. Have a good one.
Dave, we
All right,
appreciate
thank you,
you,
Dave.
man.
Have a good one.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to take a commercial break. Coming up next is our segment with Dr. Richards.
Big People Events presents October Raga Soca Fest on Saturday the 22nd of October. Going down at Woodsy, 1133 Clarkson Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Showtime, 9 p.m. with live performance by Adrian Bailey and the Magma Band featuring Scorpion.
She left the road, big road.
Music by DJ Easy Sounds. So get your early bird tickets at $35. Regular tickets at $40. Get your tickets at Woodsy Bar. Call 718-552-2687. Standard Shippers 718-469-8377. Adrian Bailey at 917-853-8441. Or Shani at 718-427-0385. So come celebrate with us. October Raga Soca Fest. Saturday 22nd October. Happy 43rd Independence SVG. Part sponsored by Standard Shippers.
Family. Say! Among friends and families. See! Suspect! Say! In the schools and communities. Children of the future. They depend on you. Report to the authorities. That's what you should do. You'll see the signs. Do what's right. Put a stop to child abuse. See! Suspect! Say! Among friends and families, a message from the Child Development Division within the Ministry of National Mobilization in collaboration with UNICEF.
The NTRC's 2022 I-Code 784
When you top it up, switch it up, side it up, on the love. Easy wins with love. Easy wins.
Catch the easy summer vibes with over $70,000 in cash and prizes. Just top up $10 or more. Activate a prepaid plan, switch to Flow, or bundle your home services to get your share of $70,000 in cash, data, Samsung Galaxy devices, shopping vouchers, and more.
You can win when you top it up, switch it up, side it up, on the love. Easy wins with love.
Low terms and conditions apply.
Bundle, yeah. Bundle, floor. Bundle.
At Pharmacy Plus, you can get your personal care, hair care, prescription, dental, and over-the-counter, and medical supplies at affordable prices. Located on Egmont Street, opposite Home Collection. We're open Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pharmacy Plus for supreme care and more.
bundle, yeah. Bundle, floor. Bundle, save. Tap up, yeah. Tap up, man. Tap up. Look at the place covered. Rosalia.
Isn't it good to know that no matter where you are, you're covered? Covered by a company owned by Vincention that understands your unique insurance needs. At Metrosint General Insurance Company, we've invested 50 years of service to guarantee that you have the peace of mind that you deserve. When it comes to motor vehicle, property, employer's liability, business insurance, and much more, we've got you covered. Our professional and friendly staff understands your needs and ensures you understand your options. Metrosint General Insurance Company.
Sell almost anything of value.
You've got 101 reasons to shop Quartz now. Enjoy hot deals and free gifts with the purchase of furniture, appliances, electronics, and more. Save $1,400 on a Sony 55-inch 4K Google Smart TV. Get a free 3-piece coffee table set with the purchase of select lounge sets and get up to 50% off on accessories and homeware. Purchase any Ashley furniture and enjoy 25% off. Need more reasons to shop? No cash, no problem. Shop today and pay nothing for 90 days with Quartz Ready Finance. Shop in-store or online at shopquartz.com. Conditions apply. Quartz, bringing value.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
$210,000. That's the Super 6 jackpot from midday, Friday, October 7th. It's $210,000.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
Big People Events presents October Ragasoka Fest on Saturday the 22nd of October. Going down at Woodsy, 1133 Clarkson Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Showtime, 9 p.m. with live performance by Adrian Bailey and the Magma Band featuring Scorpion.
She left the road.
Music by DJ Easy Sound. So get your early bird tickets at $35. Regular tickets at $40. Get your tickets at Woodsy Bar. Call 718-552-2687. Standard Shippers 718-469-8377. Adrian Bailey at 917-853-8441. Or Shani at 718-427-0385. So come celebrate with us. October Ragasoka Fest. Saturday 22nd October. Happy 43rd Independence SVG. Part sponsored by Standard Shippers.
Hey! Rude boys and rude girls! 20th anniversary jam! Hear this! Some call it boom, some call it bam bam, some call it douche. Cause that's the way they like it, some call it behind. But that's body line, I call it a hump. Especially when it's big and plump. This carnival day, I come out to play. I feeling to misbehave. It's me and a woman on the rampage rumping. I say I winding, grinding, and jamming, rumping on a hump. Some like it big and some like it small. Some men don't care how it look after all. But I like plenty jump back in the drum. That's why I choose to call it out. When you come back rumping, when you jam back rumping, when you wind down, hey, rumping on a hump. When you push back rumping, when you jam back rumping, when you wind down, hey, rumping on a hump. Reminiscing about old time school thing when we were playing in choking. Just one look, she said that pin too small, but when she feel it choke, Elizabeth start the ball. Small pin but stroke hard. stroke hard. Yes. Ask Vera, where do she with me little pin? Ask Nora, how I took she with me little pin? Ask Phil now, where do she with me little pin? Ask Kava, how I took she with me little pin? You should see them jump and sing when I choke them with my little pin. Small pin the stroke hard. Small pin the stroke hard. Teacher Ruby, boy she Dixie, Styly Riley, I go fix she. Stand up teaching, I put down my pin. When she sit back down, the whole class start to sing. Small pin the stroke hard. Small pin the stroke hard. Yes. Ask Mona, where do she with me little pin? Ask Deidre, how I took she with me little pin? Ask Rina, where do she with me little pin? Ask Wilma, how I took she with me little pin? You should see them jump and sing when I took them with my little pin. Last night was misery. I eat and I went to bed immediately. You talk about night.
It's Throwback Thursday.
Everywhere. Food nearly do for me. Food ride me like a drum beat. Let me warn even the underfed. Never eat before you go to bed. I beg you, don't eat and lie down. 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 You suffer from bangot, big belly, long gut, macho belly. Don't eat and lie down. I beg you, don't eat and lie down. My brother, the track coach, tell me it's better to go to bed on a hungry belly. He say, Bex, if you hungry and you're sleepy, go to sleep with your stomach and empty. He say, food is for energy. Food, not when you're sleepy. Last night, I forget all my brothers say. I eat and I went to bed right away. He tell me, don't eat and lie down. 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 You suffer from bangot, big belly, bangot, macho belly. Don't eat and lie down. He tell me, don't eat and lie down. Them folks.
Sadie can't think straight. You gonna play a drop for me?
It's Throwback Thursday.
I'm on. I know there's a lot of excitement going on in here, but all right, so we've got a few messages before we bring in Dr. Richards. Let me let you know what's going down at Quartz. There are sweet deals available at Quartz. You can get them on stoves, mattresses, chair sets, and accessories with savings of up to 60% on selected products. Visit their store to see the new arrivals, including the Nintendo PS5 and the Craftsman Power Tool range. No money, no problem. Just ask about their flexible credit payment packages. Quartz is bringing value home. All right, let's go ahead and make way for Dr. Richards.
Hey.
Let's check in with the doc and look at things with a wider lens. Pastor Richards on OMG.
All right, good morning to you, Doc.
Hey, blessed morning, Daniel, Fernando, Shady. I see you all. Good morning, St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Sorry, Shady.
God, throwback, huh? I heard that last song Shady played. No Eat and Lie Down. I think that's one of the best. I love St. Vincent, my homeland. I think that's number one. Next to national anthem. That's the informal national anthem. St. Vincent, my homeland.
Mm-hmm.
Love you a million. But anyways, boy, that song dear to my heart. But that one, Don't Eat and Lie Down. I think that's one of Beckett's best calypsos.
I
Well,
thought it was
that's
the
the,
last one.
no, well, I didn't hear. That's the one I heard. Don't Eat and Lie Down.
You heard Bamboo Man.
Hey, move on. Why you doing this one? No.
I don't even know it. I pay attention to, I guess, what. I listened it the other day, I was somewhere, I heard Do It, and I listened to all the lyrics. I'm like, boy, that's, first of all, the lyrics clean, and it makes sense.
Right.
And if you don't want to get a big gutty said, Do It and Lie Down. But more than that, it's for health, for a lot of health reasons, and
Yeah.
especially related to obesity, diabetes, all of that. That's really, but the way he says it in that song is so catchy. I wish a lot of people would get active. Okay, you eat, go out and do something, no man.
Yeah.
Get active. Don't eat and lie down. Don't do that. So I love that song.
But lying down after you eat is one of the best feelings. I'm not advocating for it,
God.
but I'm just saying it.
I'm losing this argument.
No,
She's
you're
talking
not.
about feeling.
Yeah. No, you're not. We really shouldn't.
Yeah, I should eat and lie down. But good song. But on a serious note, I don't even know where to begin today, But I listened off and on all morning. In fact, I just rushed back in. I had to run out, just rushed back in to get in time for the. So I hope I didn't keep you guys waiting. But something I heard, Mr. Weeks made reference to Dr. Justin Robinson's stuff yesterday. I think I was actually the one that was indirectly saying some of the things that Dr. Robinson said. Now, I want you all to hear this, right? Because something that I left out is that it's very key in what Dr. Robinson said. And he said that, I think at the very start of his presentation, he said one of the things that we need in St. Vincent, and that was borne out this morning in the discussions on radio here. So one of the things we need in St. Vincent is forum for debate. I could not agree with him more. I'm talking about well-informed debate. These things are like, it's like an intellectual file, just sharpening you. And I have a particular love for intellectual discussions once people bring stuff to the table and can back it up with facts. 2 years ago, I think it was, I was asked to judge, along with Ambassador Bowman, Keith Bowman, and myself, and someone else. We were asked to judge the OECS debate competition for the community college students, and that was one of the best exercises I had for that month, in just listening to these young people articulate, go back and forth with reasoned discussion, present their points, and then present the counterpoint, the argument. It was great as I saw them flesh out all of the different tools and nuances of a good debate. I was like, we need more of this. I'm not talking public speaking where you just do a presentation. For example, what I do here is in a way public speaking. I do a presentation. People, although I want people to, they don't get the chance to engage me so that we could have a little debate going. But I love debate, which is why when you engage me, Daniel, or when Fernando, when he engages me, I love that, because he might bring a different viewpoint. When Bert and when Jambons, shout up you guys, when they engage me, they will bring a different viewpoint invariably. They're going to say, boy, what are you talking about? So it's okay. That is okay. But Dr. Robinson said one of the things that can enrich us, and I happen to agree, one of the things that can enrich us as a country is that we should have more fora, plural forum. We should have more fora where we can engage in the presentation of our theses, not opinions. I notice I made the differentiation there, but we have a particular thesis, we have a particular substantiated viewpoint. We can put it out there in debate format. Someone else can come and engaging in the debate can counteract, can when I say rubbish my point, I use it guidedly, can check the correct thing is to check the fallacies, because there are multiple fallacies, narrative fallacies, and other types of argumentative fallacies within making a debate or an argument. So someone who can shoot through my argument can get up and say, but look, you cherry picking, you're fleshing this out, you're majoring on the minor, etc., etc. And the audience now gets to hear both sides in a dance, in a dialectic, in a sort of interaction with each other, and then the audience can make up their mind. But we have come to a juncture and a stage where a lot of our presentations are basically unilateral and one-sided. And so we get to say, for example, I get to say my piece, and especially if I say it with passion, and especially if I'm being a good student of argumentation, which I think I am, if I present it in a way that I could sell this argument, I might have people out there believing me. I might have people out there running with what I say. I might have people out there swallowing the thing hook, line, and sinker. Lack of debate. And that's the danger we run into with the kind of presentations that are being done. Most of the presentations and posturing that I see today is basically one-sided. That's why I said unilaterally. So on Facebook, you will read a very strongly worded post with passion, with vitriol, with everything in it. And there is not much of a debate. Sometimes people don't hardly ever read the thread. And sometimes people don't even care to debate the point in the thread. And so you slow the opinion, you affect people's thinking without giving them the benefit of a debate. On radio too, a lot of the mid-morning shows, if you care to listen, whether it is a politician, but more likely than not, it's not a politician. There are some stations where there are some politicians that will come on, but more likely than not, it's not a politician. It's just a radio host or someone calling in, and without much of a debate, they get to present a very passionate. They get to present a factual, in many cases, a factual argument. But remember what I told you about that. They present their points and very convincingly, and people run with it. But like I said again, what is missing there is the benefit of a debate. And for want of great debates, informative debates, enlightening debates, inspiring debates, I think our nation is impoverished. See, that's what I was talking about yesterday with not the economic capital that what's his name? Robert Dave spoke about, but the other type of capital that we need. Educational capital. That was the other one that I left out. That we don't have that sharpening outside of the classroom. We don't, and we don't have that. So Dr. Robinson made that point in his presentation, and I keyed in on it. And I don't know that there is something that I can do about it. Maybe there is. But I would love to see it done. And now that I'm talking, I'm thinking, I think there is something I can do to get this going. And if I can get this going, that will be a contribution to the nation. We need people engaged in debates. And sometimes people are afraid of the debate. They just want their point sold. They just want their opinions, or not even want to say thesis or hypothesis. They just want their opinion to carry the day. And so you don't want a debate. You don't want a debate. You don't want to hear somebody counter your argument. You don't want to hear somebody push back, because you just don't want that. So you don't want the debate. But I think that there are some really sharp people out there who want to debate their points, who will love to be educated. And I, for one, I love when I present things that people call me and people write me. I'm telling you, and they say, "Well, you didn't think of this, you didn't think of that." And you know what, Fernando, I actually received that where I love it. I'm like. A gentleman yesterday messaged me about something that I said, and I was like, "Wow, I didn't think of that." So I benefited, So
Yes.
you know something?
Yes, Doc.
No, I won't say it. I won't say it. No, I
Say
won't.
it, Doc.
No, I won't say it in the context of things because it might be misconstrued.
Okay.
But there's a value to learning and there's a value to hearing an opinion other than your own and all of that. That's one of the things that Justin Robinson. I say Justin because we're real good buddies. We go back a long time. But the other thing to Mr. Weeks' other point, which I thought was a really wonderful point he made, and I smiled. I smiled because he said, that when I reported on what Dr. Robinson said, that I ignore the fact, which is true. You can't just say, well, if prices go up across the world and we buy products at a higher price, that automatically we are going to get a windfall as a government. That he was absolutely right. In fact, what he was referring to was the matter of elasticity vis-a-vis or elasticity as opposed to inelasticity. Now, I'm going to lose some people here, but Mr. Weeks is absolutely right. The fact that prices would go up on any given commodity or any given item does not necessarily mean that you're going to make a windfall of it. In fact, just a couple of months ago, I think it was, Mr. Weeks made quite a presentation on elasticity, and again I smiled. I was like, I was so happy because most of you know that I had a little hand in teaching economics a long time ago, and he was one of the students, and he was really good. I have to say that. I could still remember his handwriting. He would write some fantastic essays. But one of the things I noticed about him, this is an aside, but he was always very thorough, and I can see it now. He was always very thorough. Sometimes I would come to his essay. Be honest, Mr. Weeks, you're not be happy to hear this. I come to his essay and I was like, God, this is going to be a long one. I should put it at the bottom of the pile. Because he would write on full scale. I don't know if he remembers this, but I remember it. And that's because it stood out. He would write on foolscap paper, if you guys know what that is, longer paper. And he would write with this flowing handwriting, kind of like at the letters were at an angle. And I always thought, man, not only does he have a lot to say, but if you understand how to read personality by handwriting, you could see that he is not straight up, and he's like he is in a rush to get it out. So he was a good student, but when he spoke about elasticity, he was dead on, and he's right. Please listen. I think you all will get this. You can't just expect to increase prices on everything and anything, and then you're going to get a windfall. So yeah, when he did that presentation on elasticity a couple of months ago, he was right. But what to Dr. Robinson's credit and to my discredit, because I didn't say this yesterday, Dr. Robinson, who is very thorough also, made an allowance for that. So, Mr. Weeks, I just want to clarify that Dr. Robinson did make an allowance for that. In fact, he singled out, he said, now mind you, that he was careful to do this. He said that there are particular things, I think he mentioned food, he mentioned fuel for sure, he mentioned lunches, he mentioned corned beef, and a number of things, and he grouped within the category of being price inelastic, which means that no matter what happens to price, we have to buy these things. Fuel, you got to buy these things. The lunches, what you do for lunch, your food price, whatever. You've got fertilizer, he also mentioned that. You've got to buy these things. So he was careful to say that given that these products that we are largely importing, given that these products are price inelastic, the quantity consumed, the quantities brought in are not going to vary that much, and therefore, that's his argument for the windfall. So I hope I clarified that. But there's another thing that he also said that made me scratch my head, and he said we have to be very careful, and the government has to be very careful. Now, mind you, he was not bashing the government. Let me make this very clear. In no way at all was that his intention. In fact, like I said, he was the guest of Luke Brown, and we know his political affiliation with the government. So he was not bashing the government. He was just being scholarly and candid. And he said, you know something? Food prices, and he said, no, food and fuel are two of the most, here's what he said, politically sensitive commodities. And he was right. So the government has to be very careful. And he made a recommendation I'll come to it when I close. But he said food and, listen people, food and fuel are politically sensitive commodities. I mean, you could increase the price of a chainsaw by $100. I mean, it's not going. You're not going to have people singing songs about that. You're not going to have a big uproar. You're not going to have call-in programs about that. You could increase the price of freezer, a deep freeze, by $150. You're not going to have people calling. But increase the price of gas by $1. Increase the price of gas by $2. You see what Dr. Robinson is saying here. In the United States, there was said at this midterm election, probably going to see some people lose their seats in the United States simply because food prices have gone up and fuel prices have gone up by a few cents, and in some cases by a few dollars. And never mind, other prices have gone up by way more. Food and fuel are in a particular category, and they make things seem worse than they are. Bear that in mind when you listen to what Dr. Robinson is saying, and sift through that. People are particularly affected by increases in the price of food and increase in the price of fuel. And even if these are marginal, sometimes we will make a mountain out of a molehill, because Dr. Robinson was also careful to go on to say, in truth and in fact, when you take the measurable basket of goods, that the inflation rate is a modest 3%. And he compared it to where other places that inflation rate is skyrocketing. So I have to be fair. To go ahead, Fernando. Sorry.
Inflation. He said the inflation rate here is 3%.
He said that. And I won't dissect it, frankly speaking. There's a way that inflation is measured, and a basket of goods, what's selected across the board. And of course, there are some prices that went up by 16% and greater. But when he takes the average basket of goods that the common Vincentian would consume, 3% was about where, that was 2021, by the way, that is figures, right? So, and I have no reason to doubt him, okay? But like he said, because there's a kind of political elasticity to certain commodities too. And when you talk about food and fuel, boy, any kind of increase in these prices and the world seems to be crashing in. The sky is falling, and get rid of the government because. So those are very politically, and I've never heard anyone put it quite that way before, but he said those are two politically sensitive commodities. Lastly, because I know my time is gone, but and you see, when I speak like this about quite an eloquent presentation like he did, I don't do justice to it, and so you don't get the fullness of what he said. But what he did say, given all that has gone before, he said there are three things that the government can do. There can either be abatement, there can either be mitigation, or there can be absorption. There is inflation, and it is affecting people. And especially where food and fuel are concerned, we will feel it here more so than anything. We are sensitive to these. What can the government do? He talked about abatement. Well, we can't really affect monetary policy in the way I've seen the Feds keep jacking up marginally in the United States. The Feds keep jacking up the interest rates little by little, and that's another monetary theory piece that explains how that keeps inflation in check. I won't get into that. But we don't, as a government, we don't do that. We don't have our own currency, and we don't control our interest rates here, so we can't do that kind of abatement. We could hardly do the mitigation to mitigate against, and I tell you why, because we are such a consumer import oriented society, that the war in Ukraine and Russia, that and then they account for 1/3 of the world's wheat supply. How are we gonna mitigate? We can't call the shots in that war. We can't call the shots in supply. OPEC is going to reduce oil production here over the next period. We can't call the shots in that. We can't mitigate against that. So it funneled down to, well, we can't abate, we can't mitigate, and so as a government, a lot of measures should be put in place. If we are getting that windfall, a lot of measures should be put in place to absorb. And I think our government has actually, let me just finish here. When we talk about absorbing, think of what the government is doing, which is basically with our money, mind you, but think of what the government is doing. For one example, case in point with fuel, the full cost of fuel is not really borne by the consumer. Just remember that. Just remember that we are not paying at the pump what we would have been paying had the government, using our money, mind you, but had the government not been absorbing some of this cost so that it does not fall to us. And what Dr. Robertson is saying is that in other areas where the government can prudently absorb some of this inflation shock, it would help our consumers, because from his most recent survey, Vincentian people are really feeling the pinch. And one of the other points he made, which I'll probably pick up next week, he said it is going to affect our mental and social health. Now we want to watch that. So I hope that I was able to give a little bit more clarity. I affirmed what Mr. Weeks was saying, because he's right with respect to the inflation, and I am sorry that I did not bring that point out yesterday. Time didn't allow it, but I hope that today I cleared it out. I cleared it up just a little bit, and you guys have a blessed, safe.
Before you go, could I just ask a quick question?
Sure.
Just from the economic standpoint, when cost of living increase, it automatically gives an increase in the government got an increase in revenue because of the VAT. Is that so?
Let me be careful in answering that again, because of it. If people don't buy, you can increase VAT all you want.
Yes.
There is, and this is what I used to teach this in economics. You have to be very careful, and you have to sometimes be very selective. If VAT is used, because VAT can be used for multiple purposes, but if VAT is used as a revenue gaining thing, then you want to be sure that you select the items carefully, and you want to put this on mostly price inelastic items rather than price elastic items. So if given that the majority of the commodities that come under VAT are price inelastic or relatively price inelastic, yes, Fernando, you gain off it. But if you put VAT on highly price elastic stuff, it means that the price and the consumers and the price is going to go up. And once the price is going to go up, the product being price elastic, people are going to consume less and less and less of it. And therefore, the revenue at the end of the day might very well hardly ever go up. To answer your question, so it's not automatic. Mr. Weeks was right. It is not automatic that increase in price or increase in VAT or increase in something is going to necessarily generate an increase in revenue.
But I think from the Prime Minister's comment some months ago, it seems like they were doing well with the collection of VAT and revenue.
Yeah, Dr. Robertson knows what he's saying.
Yeah.
Dr. Robertson knows what he's saying. There is a windfall, not just Harrison Vincent. Dr. Robertson made reference to other governments. There is a windfall.
Daniel is rushing me for time.
It's 11 minutes past 10.
Yeah.
We have the shade room already outside, and we gotta move on. All right, Doc, we want to say thank you for joining us this morning. We have to probably look back and see how we could adjust your time or do something differently, because it just. Yeah, if we're gonna be doing this much interaction, so maybe we can have a chat about that.
Yeah, let's have a chat. I'm willing to engage. in debate. And you all have a good day. I know the time is gone.
All
Have a
right.
good day.
Have a
Thank
Blessed
you.
and
No, it's weekend.
safe weekend.
Morris.
Have a blessed. May God watch over you guys, cover you
Yeah.
guys on the road, especially. Keep
Thank
you guys
you.
safe. Have a good weekend. Bye.
Thank you, Doc. All right.
Bye.
All right, and that's where we have to wrap up as well. I do have some messages still to bring for you. Make sure you check out the Kingston Cooperative Credit Union's National Dance Fest. That's going to be back this Saturday for one final dance. Together We Can. That's this Saturday. KCCU brings the curtains to a close as all gold medalists hit the stage one more time. So they will be a number of categories: the best dance group, best duo, and best soloist for this year's KCCU's National Dance Fest at 7 p.m. at the Russell's Auditorium. You can get your tickets at KCCU on Granby Street. Place your order 457-2409. Tickets are $15 for children and $20 for adults. And you can stay connected with a new Flow Broadband 250 package and enjoy fiber fast internet connectivity at home and pay only $60 for the rest of the year. Broadband 250 packages available island-wide. To subscribe today, check them out in store or send a WhatsApp message to the Flow Virtual at 494-5464. Terms and conditions apply. Flow is keeping you connected.
Yeah, just big up everybody. Shady
up
Andy,
everybody.
Marshall was saying, good day. And Preston, Bot, and all the others. Yeah, Angela. All who listened to us today.
Yes.
And who called and so forth, right?
Yes.
So,
Go
ready?
ahead.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're out.
Big People Events presents October Raga Soca Fest on Saturday the 22nd of October. Going down at Woodsy, 1133 Clarkson Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Showtime, 9 p.m. with live performance by Adrian Bailey and The